get tired of that.
You sound funny.
I do sound funny.
But hopefully everybody at home can hear you fine.
Yes, I hope so.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Succubus Club. I believe it's our 133rd edition of the show.
That's a lot.
And the last one of this season.
Yes.
We are your weekly dose of Buffy and Angel music, news, spoilers, and special guests.
Yes.
That's Kitty right there.
That's Candy, and right next to me in the hot seat, Jane Espenson.
Woo!
Hey, how do you do?
You want to pull that for you? Pull that towards you a little bit?
Sure.
That's fine.
There you go.
Just get comfortable.
If you don't know who Jane Espenson is, I know it's kind of weird. It might spring back on you.
Might attack you.
If you don't know what Jane Espenson is, then get out of the closet. Get out of the vacuum cleaner. Go do something.
Go do something.
I don't know. But for those, writer, executive producer, just...
Co-executive.
Co-executive.
And co means not.
Oh, is that what that means?
As far as I'm concerned, you are. And just Jane of all trades. So.
Oh, that's cute.
I think she said that last time we were
Yes, she did. That's right. Welcome back to the show.
Yes.
Oh, I'm very clever.
Aren't you? Third time that Jane has been on the show.
Yes, and
it's become a ritual.
Yes, and each time she comes at the end of the season to explain things to us, as much as she can, and maybe drop a few hints and leave us wanting more. Apparently.
Yeah. Do we have background music?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
Because I'm so on top of things.
And the thing is, so far, knock on wood, is that every time we have a special guest, there's always something that goes wrong. Like, even in the beginning, something.
Technical problem, or they're late, or
something. So nothing has gone wrong yet.
I could throw up at any moment.
We're eating giant goldfish in here. It's possible.
We supply our guests with nothing but the best, so we have an open box of giant goldfish crackers and a bottle of water here for Jane, and she's chowing down.
Yummy.
Stoked.
Yeah.
So give me those crackers. So anyway, Jane's here. We're going to talk about last night's season finale of Buffy.
Yeah.
2 to the grave and
what?
2 for 2.
No. What?
2
to go.
2 to go and grave.
There you go. I like to see her try and get out of those things.
I'm putting them together.
I know. That's cool. But you didn't write either of these episodes.
No.
But in fact, you didn't write as much this season as you have in the past, at least for Buffy.
Right. Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I wrote a lot early in the season.
Yes,
I wrote episode 3 and then half of episodes 4 and 5, and then Double Meat Palace in the middle of the year. So that was a total of 3. The other writers at that point had all written like 2 or 2.5.
Yeah. They're like, stop
so they all got
the episodes, Jane?
Yeah, they all got assigned the remaining episodes, and then they were all gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you want,
oh, God, I would have loved to write more, but we have a very big staff right now.
Were you doing something, were you writing for the comic books or the
Nope,
anime?
I was just sitting there just twiddling my thumbs.
Oh, see, I thought you were busy doing something else, and maybe that was why, but...
No, I did the 4-part Buffy comic, which called Haunted, which is out now.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so that took some of my time, but... this year, we're hoping with, Buffy, Angel, and Firefly all needing to be written for.
Yes.
We're hoping we all get more.
And I finally saw the little preview for Firefly.
Yes.
It's all sci-fi.
It's sci-fi?
You didn't know that?
Well, I don't know what I thought.
Isn't it a sci-fi Western?
It's very much a Western. When you go on a planet, there's horses. It's true, there's horses in the pilot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it really has the feel of a Western. It's, what Star Trek was originally pitched as, Wagon Train to the Stars.
Oh.
Only this one really feels like a Western.
Okay, and that will be on Friday nights on Fox.
On Fox.
Sunday nights on the WB we'll have Angel.
At 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock.
That's what Fury said, because I was freaking out thinking that it was going to be opposite The Simpsons.
We can't have that.
No,
9 o'clock.
And I was like,
And then we have Buffy on Tuesdays at 8.
Right.
Nice, evenly spread week.
Yeah. That's right.
I appreciate that instead of all clumped together.
Yeah.
Somebody did want to know what it was, what entailed the co-writing process, because you seem to be the only one that's involved in co-writing. Why is that? And how does that work out?
I think because I'm always the one volunteering, going, if anyone needs help, I'll do something. And the 2 different co-writing experiences this year were very different. We followed a very different process.
One was with
Doug and one was with Fury.
David Fury, yes.
Yeah, and Doug and I tried something we hadn't really tried before, where I wrote a whole draft. He did his rewrite on it. Oh. Then I rewrote him, and he wrote me. It didn't really work well because both of us would throw out all the other person's stuff and write our own version. And then the next person would get it, and they'd throw everything out and write their own version. So we're just like writing a whole script.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't cut down on the time. It actually adds to it. Yeah. Exactly.
It was sort of, you know, two views of Mount Fuji instead of, you know, whatever. a single view of something better. Yeah. And Fury and I did it completely differently. This is much more the normal way to do it, where I wrote a half and he wrote a half. And that worked especially well for that episode, which was called Life Serial, because that was the one with the 4 different storylines, each in a separate act. Buffy tries a different job.
Which 2 did you write?
I wrote the last 2. So it was Mummy Hand in the Magic Shop, and
that was really funny.
Kitten Poker with Spike. Yeah.
I should have known. I really should have known.
That was a fun one. I really like that. I like writing the comedies.
Yeah, it's great. And speaking of which, your first episode of the season, Afterlife, was not a comedy. It was one of the more serious ones you've ever written.
Absolutely. It was the most serious
and
one.
I know we got in touch with you to let you know how much we really loved that episode after it aired. And you told us that it was such a departure for you. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, I was... I don't quite remember how the assigning of it happened. I think it came up, it's just, I would normally be third in the rotation, sort of Marty's at the top, then David Fury, then me. And so it would make sense that episode 3 would be mine.
Right.
Now, I normally write comedies, and I think I remember Joss saying, you don't have to do this one if you want, you can wait for a comedy, but Doug had also said he wanted to write a comedy. We had, Fury wanted to write a comedy, so it was sort of, you're probably going to want to take this one.
Okay. I think you're going to want to take it. You may not get one for a while.
Exactly. So I thought, okay, we'll give it a try. And I actually had a wonderful time writing it. It's interesting finding other ways to be entertaining. It's interesting.
It challenges you.
Yeah, exactly. I found it very challenging, and it turned out really well. I was pleased with it, so I felt like
it was one of the better episodes for me personally of the season. It actually spawned what will be my vote for a best one-liner of the entire year, and that is Spike's line where he says, "Every night I've saved you."
Oh,
that is my absolute favorite line of the entire season.
I was very fortunate on that, because usually those moments like that are all Joss, and like I've commented before, if anyone ever compliments a line from an episode, it's a Joss line. That scene was just like I wrote it in the first draft. Marty said, "This is great. This is a great." I think she was saying, "I didn't know you could write like that."
You're like, thanks. I think.
No, Marty's cool. But she really loved that scene, and I felt very fortunate that it stayed how I wrote it, and I surprised myself a little with that. And there's other stuff in that episode that was completely changed, and much of it was Joss. The moment I think is so amazing of Anya cutting herself and laughing was something Joss pitched just off the top of his head, like, what if this happened? And we were just like,
scary.
Our skin is going to crawl off.
That's one of the creepiest moments of the season.
Or your skin might be, taken off by a witness or something.
Oh, yeah, flaying.
There's always that.
Cool. Yeah.
I did have a couple questions about Double Meat Palace and Afterlife, so let me get to those, and then
before we jump into the
other things in the season finale last night as well, which I'm sure we have a lot to say. Before we forget, everybody, Jane can only stay until about 7 o'clock.
Right.
So she's here for the normal 2 hours that we usually do a show. We will be on the air until 8 o'clock. So we'll save maybe more of our personal views on the season finale, and maybe talk about Angel. Ooh, we're going to talk about Angel.
Oh my God. I got some things to talk about Angel.
I'm sure you do.
And you guys can just talk about me, because I'll be in the car going to I won't hear you. So you can
go, oh my God.
Yeah. I've dyed my hair blonde. It's quite shocking.
I was going to say that. I like it. I could never do that. I could never go blonde. No, it's a club.
You look good, though.
Yeah, I like it. Oh, thank you.
I like your
She went blue once.
I did go blue.
And back to red.
A little too dark.
Okay, about Afterlife. Let's get back to that. People don't want to hear about her hair.
Wait. There's people that can't hear?
What?
They can't hear it all, or just can't hear me?
Oh,
why is that?
Oh, that seems like a producer kind of issue.
Okay.
Not the co-executive producer type of thing.
Right.
The not producer. Well, we'll continue on. I'm sure there are people who can hear us. And if not, I'm sure somebody's taping this, and we'll get the MP3 up on our site, so not to worry about that. Let's just continue. Okay. About Afterlife, and especially about the thing that I just mentioned. This question is, when Buffy went to Spike's crypt and sat there in silence in Afterlife, why do you think she was there? As the writer of the episode, or just as a fan, what do you think was going through Buffy's mind at that point? And in particular, during Spike's "Every Night I've Saved You" speech. Because she did. She sat there in silence.
Right.
She really didn't say anything.
Yeah, she went there and she sat there in silence with him there, right? This is when she was, okay,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
Like, I haven't seen it in a while,
it's
but...
been a while. I think she didn't know why she was there, except she wanted to be with someone who wasn't demanding anything of her and wasn't
expecting it.
Exactly. And someone who could understand. Because he has a line that I really liked where he looks at her hands. He knows right away that she crawled out of a grave.
Yeah, I love that part.
Yeah, and it's hard to hear. It's the line that gets a little lost, but he says, "Done it myself," or "been there."
I remember what it was like for me. I remember that.
There's an implication that he is identifying with her because he also crawled out of his own grave.
It also happens in that scene in the crypt, actually, because she sees his hand or something. She looks, I don't know, there was another moment in that scene where he was comparing the same. I don't know. Don't mind me. But there's something.
Yeah, there was something.
I know.
It's what it was.
It's nagging me now. But
It feels like it was so long ago.
It does. I'm like, that's this
I know.
season.
It feels like a long time ago to me, too.
Before the musical, after the
Yeah.
musical.
Yeah.
And then really after the musical.
But yeah, I think that's what it was. And then when he says "I've saved you lots of times," I think all we can do is know what we would be thinking, and the kind of person Buffy is, that she has to be thinking, wow, what a guy.
Well, I hate the fact that it cuts off right after that line. I would love to know what happened after that.
Yeah. Well, Buffy doesn't give a lot. Buffy takes it all in, and she has her deep feelings, but she doesn't open up to people. She doesn't tell them what she's thinking. She doesn't like to show what she's thinking.
Right.
Maybe she's afraid of demanding something from them that she's afraid they won't give. But she tends to be very closed off as a character, which is a wonderful and interesting fault to play with.
It kind of comes back to kick her in the ass in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think the most brilliant thing we did this year, well, the musical, but like right behind the musical, is this whole thing maybe her insane delusion.
Normal again. That was such a brilliant
episode. It
episode.
makes so much sense that when you actually look at it, it's like
it does.
The way they were explaining it in the doctor's office in various scenes, I'm just like, they're making it so possible.
Absolutely.
That it was
when you
scary.
go, you inserted Dawn into this fantasy. Now these three guys are your nemesis.
Right.
Your fantasy's falling apart, and your fantasy isn't comforting you anymore. Buffy's not happy in this world. It just, and they say your moment of lucidity last summer, where you're like, oh, that's when she died.
Yep.
And I like how they say, these three geeks are like are your nemesises and
Nemesis.
You've run out of like real scary things to challenge you.
Right, exactly.
It all made sense.
It all made a lot of sense. I think that part of what makes that make sense is that Buffy is so much in her own head.
Yeah.
Is that we know Buffy is always a little bit of an observer. She's always watching the world a little bit. So I think after Spike said the thing about "I save you every night," I think Buffy kept her own counsel. I think she walked out and didn't show him what it meant to her to hear him say that, which is exactly why the relationship with Spike didn't work out. It didn't really not work out because he doesn't have a soul, and the fact that she can't love him has to do with her so much more than it has to do with him.
Right.
She finds it so hard to love.
Yeah, it's very interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's
because a lot of people just want to blame it on Spike.
Right.
And I'm not saying that he's not at fault for anything that he's done. I'm not saying that at all, but it does go both ways. They're both kind of messed up.
They both are kind of messed up. And of course, anytime we talk about the Buffy-Spike relationship, we should remember he did a very, very bad thing.
How did you feel about that? I mean, because we know that you like Spike.
I love Spike, and I was very worried about the attempted rape because that's not something you play around with. That's not something...
It's hard to come back from.
It's very hard to come back from. And, okay, Luke and Laura came back from it, but that was a different time.
Yeah, you're talking 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we have to be very careful that we're not saying anything about humans. When we say that Spike looked into his soul at that moment and saw the demon in him, and that's what made him want to go get a soul.
Okay, this is good. Okay. Thank you for going here.
What a segue. What a segue.
You are a great segue kind of person.
Yes, in my mind, that's we did a big old mislead on y'all where we wanted you to think he was going to go get the chip. We knew the whole time, from the very beginning, he was going to go get a soul.
Oh.
And when he says, I want Buffy to have what she deserves, give the Slayer what she deserves, he means a lover with a soul.
No way. We had this conversation. Okay, Kenny and I had this conversation in the hallway, and I was going, and I was duped. All right, I was duped. I thought that
I knew that it could go any way because I know you guys. You're mischievous.
And you guys did it that way because, like, I want to be like I was before. And, he didn't use his Greg Brady exact words because what does that mean?
Right.
Okay?
Vague.
Right. It's very vague. And if we're vague for a reason.
I knew that. See, I knew that.
And a lot of people on the internet guessed it. A lot of the people guessed either he wanted a soul or that he wanted to be human again.
Right. I guessed that last week.
Yeah.
Last week when Fury was sitting right there, I said, you want to know my theory? He said, what? I said, I think he's going to become human. And he looked at me like I was crazy.
Yes, he did. He was
Fury always looks at you like you're crazy.
I know, that's true.
You can say, I think it's time to order lunch, and he'll look at you like it's sprouted antlers.
and I agreed with the human thing because as we're watching, I'm going, oh, he wants to be human, but the soul, that threw me. It did. I wasn't expecting that at all, and I was completely unspoiled.
Because the thing going for it, for him wanting to get a soul as opposed to getting de-chipped, there's inconsistencies because if all he wanted to do was hurt Buffy, he could already hurt Buffy.
Right, he can hurt Buffy.
Second thing being, I know I had a second thing, but no, but the fact that if you make it so that he goes to get a soul for her,
right,
that turns him into it makes it much more romantic. It makes it
right, which is the area that is so very dicey because we know Spike, we love Spike, and we know he's in a very special situation where he has this demon in him, and this lack of a soul that allowed him to try to rape her. A human guy that says, I saw the badness in my heart when I tried to do that. I have gone and fixed myself. I am redeemed. You can trust me now, baby. Might not be the same thing.
Right.
And we got to be real careful that we're not saying that.
So he's officially a vampire with a soul, not
human. A vampire with a soul, not human.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now there's two of them.
Now there are two of them. That's right.
The next set of questions.
Right. Which raises the issues. What happens in the universe when there's
Prophecies.
a vampire with a soul?
Prophecies. What do they mean? Do they mean anything anymore? Do they mean it will...
So now Spike will kill the sun? Is that...
Yeah, he's crossing over to Angel. He's gonna, no, because I'll ask
well,
a
can he
specific
lose
question.
his soul if they have sex?
That was a specific gypsy curse. That doesn't apply to Spike.
You're like, thank God.
I was just checking. I was hoping.
Good, we can have more sex now.
Yay, more sex.
I don't know. It's tough afterwards.
It's tough. I know it's very tough. I know there's a long road.
Okay.
I was kidding.
But I'm not saying they won't. I'm not saying they will.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's interesting.
Evil. But that is the most interesting question here in that this is dealing with Buffy and Angel, both shows. This is a question sent in. Would it be fair to say that Cordelia and Angel and Buffy and Spike are like Buffy Angel Light? It seems like on the surface the formula is just being repeated. Cordy is a warrior a la Buffy, and Spike is a souled vampire a la Angel. To me it seems like Cordy and Spike are becoming Buffyized and Angelized in order to accommodate a romantic story. Am I completely wrong?
It's an interesting supposition. You can make the argument. We certainly are fighting that. I wasn't there in the decision to train Cordy and make her tougher, but
right.
Boy, I support that, regardless of whether. Suppose that we decided we can't do that because it makes her too much like Buffy, and we'd be repeating the Buffy Angel romance. Mm-hmm. Well, then we're screwing Cordy out of a chance to be a good, strong female. Empowered and fighting, and in souling Spike, I was in on those conversations, and I know we actually had a lot of discussion about whether or not we in fact should not do it because it is exactly like Angel,
right.
And after much discussion decided it's only like Angel if we let it be. They have a very different dynamic.
True.
Buffy has never been gooey-eyed over Spike the way she was with Angel. Their relationship, the outside world is what kept Buffy and Angel from being together, and in the sense of the gypsy curse.
Right.
What keeps Buffy and Spike from being together are their very natures. They are not star-crossed lovers. They are two people who are thwarted in any attempt to come together by who they are. Mm-hmm. To me, it feels very different, and the last thing we would want to do is repeat a formula.
That's what we've been told through various interviews from almost all the writers, is that with Spike and Buffy, you didn't want to do another Buffy and Angel.
Right.
So
I think we've succeeded in making it different. It's true, if you describe it in those words, it does sound like we have found a formula.
On the surface, it does.
Warrior woman meets with a vampire with a soul. What I think is interesting is that you can have that and have it feel so completely different. To me, the Cordy-Angel relationship is a very mature relationship between two people with old souls. The Spike-Buffy relationship is a completely immature relationship between two people who can't
stand up each other.
Yeah, exactly. Can't see each other.
That's interesting.
And they're both different than what Buffy Angel was. I'm not sweating too much that's what we're doing. I hope it's not what we're doing.
Good to hear. Okay, we're going to take a break. Okay. When we come back, we have more questions for Jane, not to worry. And we will get to... What song is this?
We're going to be... this is from Angel, actually. We have a request for an Angel song, and this goes out to a listener in Australia. Her name is Steph. It's not Slayer Steph. It's Steph in Australia. And she wanted to hear Vast doing Touch, so here we have Vast with Touch. What was that? Okay, right on. Do 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 do. Ooh, see that's our technical problem. All right.
I'm the technical problem.
Okay,
apparently.
there we go.
Welcome.
Welcome back to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station. And that was Vast doing Touch. Touched. And that is from Lonely Hearts from Angel 1.2, and that's for Steph in Australia. Thanks so much for listening. I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. We are on an hour earlier. It's just about 5:30 here on the left coast, and we have the amazing, the wonderful Jane Espenson in the studio live with us. And if you're just joining us, we're just kind of getting started. I mean, Jane's going to be here till 7. So we have a lot to go over, a lot to discuss. We're just kind of getting started. We're kind of getting in on what's going on. Yeah,
she just addressed a lot of the confusion maybe about last night's the end of the episode with Spike getting a soul. He apparently went there to
wanted it.
Yeah, that's what he wanted,
that's
and because the term that they kept using was give Buffy what she deserved, what she deserved. I thought again, they don't use a term over and over again unless it means something.
I kept thinking, like I kept going, I'm like, Spike, just get over it. You know, I was like, just stop it. You know, stop freaking out. Just get over it, you know. If she doesn't want to be with you, she doesn't want to be with you. Just stop being a jerk.
He loves bitch and he knows it, remember? That was established before he even knew he loved Buffy. He doesn't get over things.
No, he doesn't.
He's a little obsessive.
I mean, he saw Hallie and recognized her as either being or looking like
Cecily.
Yeah. He doesn't get over stuff.
Was that like gag casting, or was that on purpose, or?
I'm not sure. I think I know they didn't call her and bring her in. We want Cecily to play this. She came in on audition to be Hallie.
Oh, okay.
But then once she had the role, we made the decision to, play with that.
Okay, that makes sense. Before we get into Double Meat Palace, the other full episode that you wrote this season, because we talked about Afterlife. Really quick again about Spike, oddly enough, since we love talking about him. The scene in Seeing Red, which I just loved so much, was right after the attack when he's in this crypt talking with Clem.
Right. Yeah, we love Clem.
Who doesn't love Clem?
Exactly. Who doesn't, really? And people want Clem and Sophie to get together. Apparently it's this big uproar. They deserve happiness. Oh, Clem and Dawn. Okay, stop. But that scene, it was amazing. It was what a great dialogue by Spike. Was it written later in the episode? Because was it written later after it had already been taped? That scene? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it was. There were a number of Clem scenes that we inserted in the last couple episodes because they came in short.
Okay.
And it's easy to bring Clem in to do a new scene. It's easier than to bring in the stars who were already shooting the next week's episode.
Because that seems like a really important scene for Spike.
Yeah, I think that was one of the ones that was written later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's get to Double Meat Palace. Somebody wants to know, was the symbolism of the demon in Double Meat Palace deliberate? And if so, what is it a metaphor for? Anyway.
Well, it was an enormous penis, but we did not realize that at the time.
Oh, my God.
We did not know it was going to look like that. We really thought it was going to look like an eel, or a lamprey, rather. Coming out of the top of her head. Now, if we thought for a minute, we'd realize, well, a lamprey kind of looks like a big penis. And particularly did the way it was realized. It wasn't intentional.
That's true.
Now, I mean, would we have a lesbian cut off a giant penis? No, that's icky and unpleasant and very strange. However, once it had happened, we felt free to comment on it because
and you couldn't stop
would
laughing.
comment on it. Yeah, so we had the Willow Tara conversation where they're talking about it.
Yeah.
Which I thought worked really well. I felt it's what we call hanging a lantern on something. When there is something obvious about what you've done, obviously flawed or coincidental or just something that you are afraid people are going to be distracted by noticing.
Oh.
You do what's called hanging a lantern on it, which is you have the actual characters pointed out so people can go, oh, okay, there is that funny-looking thing in the corner. Now I can pay attention to what's happening in the story.
You can kind of say that Buffy as a show does that as a whole. You know, it mocks itself so often.
Yeah, we don't want to say mock so much because we don't make fun of the show or our characters, but we do sometimes go, look at that funny thing.
That's true.
I guess it's kind of like mocking.
No, but it is cool because sometimes we will see things and then one of the characters will point it out, and I like that because
it happens so often.
And it's to me, I love it because it's
so
very real.
Yeah.
I mean, you can think of it as, it's a cheat to get out of something you didn't intend or something that's awkwardly coincidental, but in fact, I think you're just sort of saying, you know, gee, in real life you have those things all the time. You comment on them and you move on. And so I thought I was very pleased with whoever wrote that exchange. I think that was in, was that a Denight script? It was the one where Anya was trying to get revenge.
Oh.
Well, anyway, whoever it was, they did it. I thought it was really clever to point that out.
No,
might have been Drew.
Was that Older and Far?
Yeah, it might have been. I think it might have been. So that would make it Drew. Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was very clever. We did not, promise me, we did not intend that to look like a big penis, and we were very startled when it did.
Okay, good.
Like, oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question about Double Meat. Who decided on the fast food restaurant as Buffy's place of employment, and did you have a specific experiences in fast food that you drew onto?
Pretty much everybody had specific fast food experiences except me. I never worked in fast food, but Marty had done a lot. Marty had worked at McDonald's and had a lot of interesting insight. My boyfriend had worked at some dreadful fast food places in Ohio, really just awful sounding places. So he had all the information about the buttons and the beeping on the grill.
Yeah.
It was like to make it completely uniform.
Because I always thought to myself, why isn't she just waitress? You know?
Right.
But then again, it wouldn't be funny. I mean, it wouldn't be as funny.
Right. And we've already seen her do that because that's what she did in Anne.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we almost backed away from having her in fast food when Joss remembered that she had waitressed before. And we were like, well, yeah, but this feels different. Fast food is a whole different kind of job than waitressing in a diner.
There's no tips.
But yeah, you wouldn't believe the amount and length of the conversations about what Buffy should do for a living.
That's a big deal, though. I mean, it really is. It should
What were some of the things that didn't make it?
Oh.
Can you say?
I don't remember.
Phone sex operator? No.
Yeah, I think we probably talked about, time life operator kind of jobs, phone sales and stuff like that. We just talked about every kind of awful job that people had done. I used to paint dorm rooms and stuff. And I think we talked about janitorial jobs and that kind of thing, or working. Some of the things that we explored in Life Serial. And we talked, being a cop and various things like that.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah. No, just much more grubby.
Ditch digger.
It needed to be
construction worker.
Unpleasant. Yeah, it needed to be something just awful, and we decided finally that fast food was about as awful as we could think of. And I love food. I think food is funny. I mean, there's a reason Dan Candy is my script and Gingerbread is my script. And when people mishear,
no coincidence.
Yeah, there's a
quote. Food is funny.
Food is funny. Look at Weird Al Yankovic. How many of his songs are about food? You take something that's about love and you make it about food, and it's hilarious.
That's
true.
I love Weird Al.
I can't wait to see your scripts next year. Then
who doesn't love Weird Al?
Who doesn't?
Nobody doesn't love.
I saw him once in Century City, and I was like, that's Weird Al.
Oh, I see him. I've seen him a couple times. And,
he's fun. I like him.
Oh.
Too bad we don't. Where are you going to put Weird Al in some of the songs? some of the episodes.
Oh, I'd love to.
Let's talk a little bit about the recent story about Willow Tara, the whole Tara death, and Willow, what happened to her afterwards. Obviously, a lot of people are upset over Tara's death.
I'm still upset.
Yeah, as we intended. We're upset ourselves. There was. I didn't think Joss was going to be able to do it. He really had to struggle with killing her, and the fact that it was so painful was what we knew would make it work. We knew it would hurt, and that's what we needed, because otherwise you just can't take Willow to where we needed to take her.
Well, what about how do you guys feel about all the backlash that's happened because of it?
I hadn't been aware that there was backlash, although we did talk about it. We knew... What we knew has been done with gay characters is you introduce one just to kill them. We knew that wasn't what we were doing. Tara had been on the show a very long time. Well, not a very long, not as long as Buffy, but she clearly had not been brought in as cannon fodder.
Right.
Because when you do that, you bring them and you kill them right away.
Right.
And when you do that, it's a punishment. We felt that this was so clearly not a punishment for being gay. Her being gay, she wasn't gay bashed. She was shot accidentally. We did talk about it. We did talk about we're doing that thing. We're killing the lesbian, but we don't. It didn't feel that way to us because she wasn't the lesbian character anymore. Willow and Tara are both lesbians. Willow didn't die. Willow is our main character. If you were wanted to make some horrible message about killing the lesbians, you'd kill her.
No, but she went evil.
She did go evil, but she went evil out of deep, loving grief.
And that's something you guys had decided.
Right. Yeah, we knew we were going to make her evil. We had to figure out how, and that seemed to be the best way how. And we really do think of them as one of our couples. We've got Buffy Spike, Xander Anya, and Tara Willow, and we really don't. When we think of a story for them, a situation for them, we never go from what should happen to the lesbians. It's just what should happen to that couple. So we really stopped thinking of them as a gay couple and just thought of them as a couple.
Okay, then I guess I would ask, playing devil's advocate here, maybe you should have thought of them as the lesbian couple, because obviously a lot of people look up to them as some kind of role models, and what is your responsibility as writers to these fans?
Well, I think we would be shirking the responsibility if Willow then goes out and gets herself a boy. Then that seems to me that we have said something about lesbianness. What we have said instead are, we view our characters as such real and three-dimensional characters that good things can happen to them, bad things can happen to them. They aren't templates anymore. These are people. We hope we've created people.
Okay.
I like that.
And obviously, a lot of people want to know a lot of the backlash. A lot of people are going to be tuning out from here on out because of what has happened.
Although people say that, I defy that they didn't watch the season finale.
Yeah,
Come on.
People always say they're not going to watch anymore, and our numbers stay exactly the same. I mean,
but they've gone down
also. But our boy numbers went up. You can look at the numbers any which way, and we're also season 6 of a long-running show. Fans have gone away to college. I didn't watch TV when I was in college. You don't know what that's about. And we certainly feel we did a really bang-up season. So
so that is the general consensus.
Oh yeah, we really liked the season. We feel we did a really good job. I mean, gosh, just look at the musical alone. But I mean, even if you took the musical out, I think it's a really strong season.
It's a very different season than you guys have done before.
Yeah, and next season's going to be completely different from that. We're going to do it in a whole different way next year.
Oh, what way is that?
We're sort of looping around at the beginning. It's going to be more funny, more standalones.
I like the standalone.
I remember last year when you were in to talk to us, and we asked you about this coming season, season 6, and you said there's going to be much more funny, much more drama. We got much more drama.
Much more drama. We did not get the much more funny.
No.
That's true.
Yeah,
because you didn't write enough episodes.
That's right.
Now we know why. Because I remember that quote very specifically because I'm like, great, I love the funny. You know,
I meant, there's a lot more funny to come. Not that it'd be more funny than we've previously seen. You know,
perhaps.
But episodes about food. See,
there you go.
Yeah, no, I'm distressed to hear that people are saying they won't keep watching because what does that say? That I mean, Tara wasn't our only gay character. Willow's still going to be around, being a really good role model, dealing with grief and moving on, and I'm sure eventually she'll date. And we didn't kill lesbianosity. We killed one lonely girl who we feel who happened to be gay, and we miss her terribly. And there is no reason to not think that we won't be seeing a little or more of Tara or something that looks like Tara.
See, I knew it. Just like
she is picking and choosing her words so carefully. You should see her.
The concentration. It was just like Twin Peaks when what's her face dies when
Laura Palmer
dies, and then she comes back as her cousin,
right,
with the dark hair,
right. Yeah. If people, I don't know if people are exactly why people will say they're tuning out, but if they're tuning out because they miss Amber Benson.
Well said, yes.
Wait, I want to ask this.
Really quick, we have to take
Willow, and I'm sure, but you could just sort of hint to what's going to happen next season. Obviously, she's going to have to deal with the fact that she killed a human.
Oh, yes, please, let's deal with this.
Yes.
That she filleted a human. That she went, wow, and his skin came off.
Right.
I mean, so that's obvious. I mean,
yes, she will be.
I know you can't tell us this, but I feel like I just need to get it out. Is she going to go to jail? I mean, how's this going to work?
No, she doesn't go to jail.
Spike goes, it never happened. Just trust me.
She is somewhere interesting when we open next season. She is up in a place doing a thing with somebody. Somebody that we know.
What the hell is going on?
She's with Cordy because I said to myself, you know what? Where was Cordy, Miss Higher Power, when the world was going to end again? All right, we're going to take a break.
Oh, my God.
We're going to talk more about that.
Jane's evil.
We always say Joss is evil. It's Jane.
It's really Jane.
All right. This is a request also, and this is for Lisa in the UK, and this is dedicated to all the UK listeners.
It's like 1 a.m. over there right now.
Who are up, fighting the good fight.
So Xander and Dawn were sort of in a situation where those are our last two damsels. The problem is everybody hates the damsel. Mm-hmm. You resent the damsel for always getting themselves in trouble. So what do you do when you realize that and you go, okay, Xander saves the world and Dawn has a sword. Okay, now we're fresh out of damsel. And you get creative and you think in new ways.
You know what it does also? It takes you back to standalone episodes, though, where the damsels are non-cast members.
Right. Yeah. That's
always a possibility.
That's a good observation.
Yeah.
I really
we have to take a break real quick.
Okay, but I just want to ask this really quick. So Willow is fighting against Buffy. We know Will has this new power. And so John and I are watching this, and we're like, okay, Will, she's pretty powerful. But Buffy knows how to fight. I mean, Buffy's like a martial arts expert.
Right.
But Willow, she doesn't know how to do that.
Well, she's been participating in Scooby fights and helping
train Buffy.
Yeah, but
the thing she was doing last night, she must have gotten that from Rack or from Giles or something.
Even Dawn had a very smooth move just from observing.
That's true.
It's amazing what you can get from observing.
Yeah, well, that's true. It is true.
It is true.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the episodes and what's going on and more interesting things that we'll maybe try to get out of Jane for next season. We'll see if we can catch
We'll
off guard.
squeeze as much as we can.
Okay, this song is from last night's episode. We want to thank the people that promptly let us know and send us the MP3s so we can have it.
I got the MP3. They sent me the information. I got
it.
I illegally downloaded it and burned it to a CD just for you guys.
Thank you. All right, from last night's episode, Grave, this is Sarah McLachlan with Prayer of St. Francis.
I know, it was longer last night on the show.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, that was Sarah McLachlan doing Prayer for St. Francis. That's from Grave, 6.22, and that's for everyone out there who watched last night's episode. We're back, obviously. You're listening to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org. And I'm Kitty, that's Candy, and that's Jane Espenson. And we're just hanging out. We're eating goldfish, we're drinking water, and we're talking.
Talking about some stuff.
Talking about Buffy and Firefly and Angel, and we're trying to trick Jane to giving us some stuff,
We're not tricking her.
We're trying to catch her off guard, see if she'll give us any information.
No. But let's mention really quick what we were just talking about, which is Joss's involvement. Obviously, this season, only one episode, a big episode, huge episode. And he was busy doing Firefly, the pilot, and directing the pilot as well, and that's why he couldn't do the finale this year. But you did mention about the first episode for next season?
Yes, we have broken the first episode for next season, and my understanding is, Buffy, my understanding is that Joss will be writing that himself.
Awesome.
And he has written not only the 2-hour Firefly event, but also another 1-hour episode for Firefly, so everyone should tune in and check out the fancy new show.
I'm going to tune in.
Mega Joss.
And Angel as well, you said?
And Angel, yes. I think he's going to be more involved in Angel next year.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, and you are going to do Firefly and Buffy.
I'm going to do Firefly and Buffy.
And maybe Angel.
If they would like me to, I am there.
Well, tell them we said that we want you to write for Angel.
Okay.
Now
it's sealed. Now, of course,
well, seriously, I was going to say tell Tim Minear, but
that won't work.
That won't work. He's not an Angel anymore.
That's right.
Well, tell him before he says that.
But he's still consulting on Angel.
Tell him. Tell him the girls from the Succubus Club say I should write for you guys.
Okay.
He'll listen.
Because that'll work. Apparently.
He'll listen. He's scared of it.
Well, who's not really? Oh, goodness. Okay.
Yeah, I want to know more about...
Well, go ahead and ask.
Stuff. You got the questions.
Okay, fine.
I asked my thing about Willow.
That was your thing? That's the only thing you wanted to know?
No,
you know what I liked
lots of stuff.
about last night's episode? One particular scene was her, and I know it has to be intentional, was her digging out of the hole.
Absolutely
At
intentional.
the end.
Yep, bringing it back around to the beginning. The hand comes out of the grave.
Hence the title, I would think, Grave.
Right.
Grave Revisited.
I just really liked that. I thought that was
a
really nice moment. I'm like,
Okay, I want to know about Willow's hair. This is a really superficial moment. But her hair, so her hair turns black and then turns back to red. Now, did you guys dye her hair?
No, it was a wig. It was a very good wig.
Very nice.
I know. I was sitting as close to her as I am to you guys, looking at her hair, going, "Wow, they dyed your hair." And she said, "No, it's a wig." And you could see like little hairs coming out of her head. I don't know how they did it.
Because she had some close-ups, and I'm like, damn, they dyed her hair.
Yeah.
No, she was really uncomfortable because they had to put the wig on really, really tight. So she had really tight pins. Plus, she had those enormous black contact lenses that cover your whole eyes.
Could she even see out of them?
No, she could see kind of, but it was more that they were very hard, painful to put in if you have sensitive eyes. I mean, I can't wear regular contacts.
Me neither.
And then she was out on that bluff overlooking the ocean, and they had sort of scattered charred earth around there, as effect of her blasts. And the wind was blowing really hard, so it was blowing all this dirt in her eyes.
Oh.
So there's actually. You can, see that her eyes are almost all the way closed. She's trying to keep the dirt out of them.
Wait, was Sunnydale always on the coast?
Well,
John goes,
if you need something in the script, it becomes a bigger and bigger town.
I know, I love it, because John goes, since when is Sunnydale on the coast? I go, hasn't always been.
They've been to
the beach
Angel,
in Dracula.
And they went to the beach in the one with the sort of creature from the Black Lagoon.
There you go fish.
You're right, that's
But that
true,
could have been
true.
a field trip to a nearby beach.
Yeah.
And they go to the waterfront when Angel's going to get out of town on a ship. They're just down at the waterfront.
The docks.
That's true, there are docks.
Yeah.
And I remember when that aired, they're like, since when are there docks?
Well, for a long time. We also have an international airport and like a Magic Mountain size theme park.
It has expanded since a one Starbucks town in the pilot.
Right. I love that.
Sunnydale is really building on its own.
It absolutely. What we figure it's near Santa Barbara, so that's right. That's coast.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why the Chumash Indian would, of course, be the correct Indian tribe for the region.
There you go.
Yeah. See, it all fits.
It all fits. Somehow it does. Okay, this is actually a really good question. I'm interested about this. Somebody wants to know the Mutant Enemy company, all the members are really fantastic as far as interacting with the fans.
Yes.
As evident by so many of the writers willing to do a little internet show like the Succubus Club. She did say, and great, which thank you very much. And posting on the Bronze, etc., and other message boards. How do you feel when sometimes it gets too complicated, or does it get too complicated? And is it harder when the fans are so hard on the show and they transfer their anger to you, the writers?
That is hard. I think a lot of us were more interactive when we first get the job.
Yeah.
If you'll notice, it's always the new writers. They're like, oh, I'll go on the posting board and I'll interact with the fans. And it does get tiring because you bond with the show so much. And even if a decision isn't yours, you have to take the responsibility for it and defend it. And I think that's really important. And so you're put in this position of having to defend things that if you were a fan, maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. And people... And also sometimes it's embarrassing because people remember the episodes better than you do, and you just feel
like, huh?
weird that I wrote that and I don't remember that moment, or I can't remember why it was important. That makes it a little bit of a strain sometimes. But other than that, I mean, we go to the posting board party. We always all have a blast. Mm-hmm. The fans are very kind and very smart. I mean, if this Tara thing is probably going to be really hard on us because you do find yourself getting defensive and feeling misunderstood, and it can be tough.
It was interesting that you brought up the fact that you may disagree or may not like or something that happens in the script, but you find yourself having to defend it. Mm-hmm. When David Fury was in here last week, we asked him about that because he has some very different points of view about certain characters and stories, and he's not shy about it. He told us as much, and yet it's still his job to write the script as he's been told to. And we asked how difficult that was for him. Is that much of a problem for you, or do you...
Much less than it is for Fury. Fury has very, very strong independent ideas about where things should go, and I tend to be much more what Joss's word defines the universe. When we hear Joss's word, we know what the right answer is. So it does differ for the two of us. We're probably the two most extreme. Yeah. He is the most likely to disagree. I'm the most likely to hop on board. So it is a different experience for both of us. I tend to pretty much love everything we've done.
Has there been anything though that you you're like maybe that
there has been. There are very few. There are just a few lines, and I don't even want to say what they are because they belong to specific authors and stuff.
Understandable.
Okay, here's one I can.
Okay,
I can cite this one.
Okay.
There was a thing that was cut from my episode where Buffy sleeps with the guy in college. She sleeps with Parker.
Parker sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was that? No, that.
It's Harsh Light of Day.
Harsh Light of Day. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Where at the very end, all the fans were very upset. They were like, "This didn't feel like Buffy. Why would Buffy get so hung up on this guy? Making her a slut?"
Thing.
Yeah, and
I said I don't see a problem.
And particularly lines at the end about maybe we can still get back together. Maybe if I try harder. And people felt that was very, very weak of her. What they didn't see was a bit that had gotten cut where she says, the whole time I was with Parker, I kept thinking, look at me. I'm doing something that doesn't have to do with Angel. Look at how this has nothing to do with Angel. Oh, my God. How come I couldn't see it was all about Angel?
Oh.
And that got cut, and I think that was a mistake.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Dealing with the cuts and drop scenes and stuff like that must be a little difficult because, and which is great about the DVDs that they can include some stuff.
Right, but I don't think that would be included because, that was not...
Even shot.
Yeah, it was shot.
Oh, it was shot.
It was shot and it was in a version, but it wasn't, but it was like 6 minutes too long. It was way too long, so stuff was taken out.
And I know how hard that is because, when I was in college, I did journalism and stuff, and we'd write stuff, and then the editor would say, okay, you have to cut this down, from 100 inches to 30, and you're like, it's my work, and I can't bear to cut anything out of it. Mm-hmm. That was, it must be the same, especially for this one, it's such an impact.
Yeah, and particularly if it's being cut after it's written, where you don't even get to say necessarily about what gets cut out, it can be tough. So that was one where I felt like I had to defend Buffy's decision to do what she did with Parker, and yet I felt that why she did it had been lost. That was one. But every now and then there'll be some joke where I don't think that joke's as strong as it should be, or I think Anya wouldn't say that or whatever,
So there's never been a large story or a plot or a story turn that you've maybe said?
There have been some where I've been skeptical.
Yeah.
The attempted rape, I was like, I don't know if
Right.
we want to hurt this character of Spike that much. But then when I saw it, and you see his face and you see what follows, and then I kind of go, okay, I can groove with that. That is in fact very interesting.
Have there been things where you thought weren't going to work at all, and then you're like, wow, that was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
That must be a great feeling.
Yeah, because you sometimes you go, oh, this can never work, and then you see it and it does work, and it's tremendous relief.
That's great.
Yeah.
Back to the rape scene. Actually, somebody did want to ask a specific question about it. Could you shed some?
Oh, it sounds
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear
aircraft or that.
I know somebody's coming. Could you shed some light on exactly how the Buffy Spike attempted rape scene in Seeing Red was supposed to be interpreted? I'm getting confused. Is this a case of no means yes, that it was okay because Buffy had said no and didn't mean it before? Because that is how it came off to me. Why does she shrug it off so seemingly quickly to the point where she was willing to trust Spike with protecting Dawn in the very next episode and even missing him?
Yeah. The missing him is problematic. It was not supposed to be in no way, and I felt it was very clear that in no way was Spike condoned in any way. It was she was clearly shaken, very upset, clearly saying no, and he was clearly appalled by what he had done. He clearly didn't think it had been condoned, or he would not have had his own reaction to it.
Absolutely.
She protects him with Dawn because she has no reason not to protect him with Dawn. He did not. He was. Buffy knows him. Buffy spent a lot of time with him. She knows he's evil. She knows he surprised her with the rape. She did not know he was capable of that. But she has no reason to think that he would attack Dawn. And it was a dire situation.
Right.
With very few choices about what to do with Dawn.
Right.
And the missing him,
that's tough.
Is very tough. It's very tough. I think what we could say is that she's missing the man he could have been. She's missing
the potential.
The potential. And when someone reveals themselves to be not what you thought they were, you miss who you thought they were.
Right.
And I think she was missing the Spike that she thought she knew.
At the same time, it says a lot about yourself, your judgment of somebody. If you're expecting one thing from somebody and they disappoint you in any way,
it's true.
It does say a lot about yourself.
Yeah. We tend not to see it that way. We tend to go, oh, they did this thing. I misinterpreted that.
Absolutely. We're going to take another quick break. Before this next song, about that last song, the song at the end of last night's episode, do you know who picked that out or how that worked out? Because it was a great song to end the episode.
Yeah, I think it was a different song than we saw in the early versions that we got from the editor. I think it was a different song, but I'm not can't swear.
Okay, so you're not sure.
Not sure. Don't know a thing.
Okay, but it's a great song. Great way to. You can always count on a musical montage by Sarah McLachlan to make me cry.
I know.
Excellent.
Which is how it works.
I'm totally crying, and John's like, "Don't cry." He's like making fun of me. I'm all, shut up. Shut up.
You're just a girl, man.
I know. You're just like a
okay, we're gonna take a break.
Girl.
What's the song?
Take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk more about the stuff and get wrapped up because Jane's gotta head on out. This is from Smashed, and this is Roxy Music doing Avalon. Welcome back to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station. And that's Roxy Music doing Avalon from Smash 6.9. I'm Kitty. That's Candy. That's producer Ethan. Producer Ethan.
The one with no mic.
And that's Jane Espenson. Yay! And we're just hanging out. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. We're talking about last night's episodes. We're talking about new episodes to come. New things.
She's not spilling a lot.
No, she's not spilling a lot, but she's giving us some good stuff to think about. We're talking about various different things. So she's here till 7, so we've got about a half hour left with Jane. We'll still be here till 8.
But you can all tune out after.
Yeah, you
leave.
can tune out.
It's okay.
But stay tuned because Candy and I have some announcements.
Big announcements to make, absolutely.
And Jane and I were just talking about Vegas, and that's kind of one of our announcements. So we'll get to that later.
Yes. Just got a phone call and a question for you.
Hi, Fenric.
Very specifically about last night's show, if you can answer. The Christ illusion in Xander in the very end of the episode. He wants to know if it was used
God,
specifically.
No. God, no. Just because he loves his childhood friend is different than he loves the world. This is just an expression of a human connection between two people.
You're right, because he wouldn't have done that if it wasn't like Buffy or Willow.
And he wasn't.
Maybe Anya.
He wasn't. If she had killed him, that wouldn't have saved the world. So it wasn't like he gave his life to save the world. He was willing to give his life because he didn't want to live in a world that didn't have her in it.
Right.
I think it's very different.
Yeah. I love that scene. I can't even express how much I love that he was the one.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, and I know over the last 2 seasons, we're kind of like, where's the Scooby love? Where's the Scooby love? You know, because they broke apart in season 4 and even season 5, they kind of came back together. It's just kind of been sketchy, and so it's always nice to see them
isn't
as
that
friends.
lovely? Yeah.
It's really nice.
Especially since I just saw the Yoko Factor on FX the other night.
Oh,
and
right.
Fighting and
That's
just
right.
all of that stuff. And it reminded me of, like, what a bastard Spike was, you know. God, man, you know. But, you know, we haven't really talked about Giles for a lot, right?
Let's talk about him.
Giles.
And as you mentioned, you were going to bring him back earlier in the season, but chose to...
we were talking about having him be a guest at Xander and Anya's wedding, but we decided that the impact of seeing him after a longer absence would be greater.
So you knew that he was going to come for this episode?
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, we always knew.
2 to go.
We always knew he'd be back for this. Something that got cut from the wedding episode we were talking about during the break was that there was a reference to Giles in that episode. If any of you were wondering why he wouldn't come back for Xander's wedding, he wasn't able to make it, but he sent all those flowers, all the flowers in that church. It was actually shot but it got cut for length.
Of course, as everything does.
As everything does. And it was explained that Xander and Anya wouldn't have been able to afford flowers. They were going to have no flowers at their wedding, but Giles sent all those flowers from England. Well, I guess he didn't. Anyway, he
paid
called
for
from England. Yes.
So now you all know every time you watch the episode, all the flowers are...
All those flowers are from Giles.
Yes.
That's cool.
Do
we have Giles questions? Or?
No, nobody sent Giles.
Okay, because we were talking about this earlier, how I was completely unspoiled that Giles was going to show up. And I just thought that was such a great... maybe I'm the only one who just didn't really think of it. I was like, oh my God, Giles. And it was so great to see him, but then there was that fear that he might die.
Yeah.
That wasn't nice.
We thought it was very plausible. We felt it would be very plausible that Giles might die, so we knew y'all would fall for it.
I mean, seriously, I thought that Anya was going to die. And I thought she was going to die.
You're a sucker, man.
I'm a sucker. I'm like, okay, Anya's going to die? Okay, no, she's not going to die.
Jonathan and Andrew look like they were going to die.
Jonathan and Andrew, for sure. I'm going, they're going to die. Okay, guess not. I definitely thought, Dawn, possibly. Okay, guess not. And Giles. And I'm going, now here's the one. This is it.
What's the situation with Ripper, with him possibly coming back next season? What's up with all that?
I think we will have some Giles next season on Buffy.
Okay.
Ripper, I have no idea. I know Joss was working on an outline for it, but then Firefly got all hot and hairy, and so I have not heard anything for a while about Ripper.
And that's why I was thinking that Giles can't die, because what about Ripper? I'm like, well, what about the show? Are they going to... They can't kill him off, but I still got nervous.
Yeah.
That was the only time, because unfortunately I was spoiled, and I didn't mean to be. Unfortunately, people sending questions for you guys, and they've already seen the episode, so I have to read the questions.
Like when Giles comes back, they're like, huh?
I'm like, huh?
And it's just a stunning moment when something throws Willow back and you look up and there's Giles.
And there's no glasses.
And
that's right.
That makes him badass.
Joss specifically said no glasses for Giles this episode.
And he looks so determined and so sexy.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
I was just like, oh my God, it's Giles, and he just looks amazing.
And let me ask the audience, how many of you think that Anya should get together with Giles?
I will say this much. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, because obviously you guys tested the waters with the Tabula Rasa.
That was testing the waters suggests that we have some sort of...
Okay, maybe not.
But we played with the notion.
Okay. Okay. And it worked well. They were great together, and they have great chemistry as actors, as characters. I think it's a little harder to grasp, but it's still kind of cool, because she's not really too young. I mean, she's been around.
No, she's 1,100 years old.
There's that.
She's twice his age.
Twice?
But what about Xander? I mean, do you think that Giles would feel comfortable doing something like that? Or would it not matter?
Well, let's see. In the alternate universe,
going all
in which we
hypothetical
actually
now.
Yes. I think it would be interesting. I think it is better to have a romance with obstacles in its way than one that has none.
That's true.
Yeah.
Those are boring. The ones with no obstacles.
That's true.
You're right.
Those are Riley Buffy things going on there.
That's right. Isn't everybody glad that Xander and Anya didn't get married? They're much more interesting.
Absolutely. And I love that scene where by the cash register last night where it was just a very honest scene between the two of them, which they haven't really had. You know, she's been angry. He's been, preoccupied with everything else that's going on and trying to apologize. But there's never been a real honest conversation between the two of them about this since it happened. That
was probably the hardest scene in that episode. I remember that got a lot of writing and scrutiny and rewriting, and I remember that being very hard. I was not involved in the writing of that scene, but I loved how it turned out.
Yeah. Do any of the DVDs have? And I know they have cut scenes or they have stuff that behind the scenes.
Commentary as well.
Do they like Buffy bloopers?
We certainly see gag reels every year at the wrap party. I don't know if any of those have been. I mean, so many of them are so inside they wouldn't make a lot of sense.
I would just crack up to see some of those. Can you imagine Buffy getting in the face of some demon or one of them cracking up and just?
It happens.
I mean,
I've seen it.
I would love to see it. And I just think that would be really funny just to be able to watch that because you guys obviously get to see this stuff all the time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We see a lot more where they mess up than ones where they.
Because I can't imagine them were there any times during the filming of this episode that Willow was just evil and then just cracked up? I mean,
there were a lot of times where she would sort of crumple in pain from the contact lenses. They weren't so funny though.
That wasn't funny.
Oh, poor.
Yeah. Well, every time the director says cut, you see the character fall away and the actor stand there. That's always interesting.
Yeah.
Is to sort of see whatever emotion is happening slide away.
Well.
So the cast for next season is exactly the same as this season?
Well, Tara won't be back, at least not.
Well, I mean in the credits, aside from the one that she died in.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. No new people. No one taken away yet.
There are going to be new recurring characters, but I don't believe there will be any new regular characters.
Can you tell us anything about these new recurring characters?
I wouldn't be surprised to see a high school principal, a new high school principal.
For Dawn in high school.
Wait, yeah. Where were all those people that went to Sunnydale High? Where'd they go?
They were sent to schools in neighboring communities. They were in Shelbyville.
Okay, cool. Sitting by the lemon tree.
That's right.
Simpsons reference. So, is there going to be a new Sunnydale High? Are they going to be rebuilt, or is this going to be new?
They've been rebuilding Sunnydale High for a while. Actually, they're rebuilding it as we speak. They're rebuilding it this summer. In Sunnydale right now. They're rebuilding the high school.
So when October comes around, September, October, it
might be done.
I bet Xander's construction company's in on that.
Maybe.
Oh, he should certainly get in touch with them because it sounds like there should be some job opportunities.
I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. So a new principal. I was like, Snyder? Oh no, he got eaten.
Snyder's all eaten up.
But he was on. What was I watching? He was on a show the other night. I saw.
Hey.
I don't know, some show. Boston Public.
Oh yeah, my friend
judge.
Armin. I love Armin.
He's great.
I was like, oh my God, it's Principal Snyder. I love him.
Somebody wants to know about Anya since we were just talking about her. In the interview with David Fury here last week, he spoke of Spike not having a moral compass. How he could not atone for his past without a soul. What of Anya? She has not shown any remorse for 1,000 years as a vengeance demon, yet everyone, especially Xander, seems to have forgotten her past. We, the audience, cannot even be sure that she even has a soul, or that Dawn has one for that matter.
Good question.
Oh, yeah, interesting question. I believe Anya does have a soul.
As a vengeance demon?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, maybe she has to have some sort of heart to care
It's hard, isn't it?
To care enough about the plight of the people she has to help.
Would you say that Lauren, the host on Angel, doesn't have a soul?
I'm with you on this because I think it's very difficult there's no black and white where demons are concerned.
That's right. There are good demons and bad demons. They balance each other out.
Right.
She does
Clem.
service.
Clem.
Yeah,
good demon.
Clem doesn't have a soul.
And it's not like vengeance. Vengeance isn't just random evil. Vengeance is remember what Hallie said. We prefer justice demon.
Ah, that's true. That's true.
That's true.
They may be part of the equalizing team that the powers that be have out there working. So I don't think the fact that Anya happens to have demon means that she is soulless.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But do you think when she was literally on Yanka, back in the Wish and all that she did she have a soul then?
Yeah, I think she did.
Okay.
It's just touchy. It's so touchy going back and forth, and especially when you throw somebody like Spike in the mix, who's somebody who doesn't have a soul, who can't hurt people but still does some good things, does some bad things. It just mixes everything together. Well, it makes it hard for people to understand where the stance is from the writing team.
It is true. But I think it's part of what makes the show interesting and real and true is that as you get to know the character, when you first meet a character, they are the thing that they are. This is our vengeance demon. All vengeance demons are like them. This is a vampire. All vampires are like them. They are categories. As you get to know them, just like in real life, when you get to know people, you discover how much more complex they are, which is one of the reasons why I think people who say you killed a lesbian are not giving her enough credit for being a person first. We killed a person, goddammit.
Well, maybe they're upset about that. No, I mean, really. Maybe they're just upset also that Tara is gone.
It is very sad that Tara's gone. I absolutely understand, and I even understand the taking a step back and saying, "Do you realize what you did? You killed a lesbian." But I also think it discredits her a little bit to suggest that she is nothing more than that label. She is so much more. She is so much more a person than she is a label. That I think. Even as we debate the politics of killing her, gosh, if it was certainly, I don't know, if you did the Matthew Shepard story, you're killing a gay person. Yeah. If you do a movie, if you do Schindler's List, oh my goodness, Spielberg killed many, many Jews.
Brutally.
Yes. It is.
Are you offended?
I cried through the whole movie. Spielbergo. Damn that Spielbergo.
It is a tricky situation, and I don't want to make light of anybody's anger and angst. But I think that it is interesting that we do make our characters very fully faceted, be they lesbian, be they demon, be they whatever. We like to think that they become people with so much texture and so much reality that that's what becomes important about them, as opposed to whether or not they happen to write demon on their college application.
Right, and the thing was, when you look at Adam Bush, when you look at Warren. I'm like, when you look at Warren's character, people might have been like, "Oh my God, I can't believe Willow skinned him and killed him and everything," but no one really. I'm sure people were sorry to see him go, but I don't think anyone was like that bummed because he was horrible.
Yeah,
he was a mean, horrible, evil guy.
Yes, it's true. And maybe he was gay.
Maybe.
Don't start. You get yourself in trouble now.
He was certainly leading poor Andrew along.
I know, poor Andrew.
I like being given orders.
Oh, wasn't that the sweetest thing? Don't you just love
that one when he's begging him to take over? I'll let you take over.
And when he goes, "What butt munch?" He goes, "I wasn't talking to you." Okay.
He said like gut reaction or something like that.
Force the habit.
Force the habit. Oh, yeah. Ouch. Okay.
Ethan knew.
We're going to take our final break with Jane here. When we come back, I want to talk actually about Buffy, oddly enough.
Yeah.
Being the main character and all.
Yeah.
And let's change of song. It's the other song by this group. I don't have the other one. So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
come back.
Come back. We'll be back with Jane, and this is Superfine doing I Already Met You. And I was saying, you know what, you guys? If you do that, I'm telling you right now, I'm not on board. So if they come after you, and they try to come after me and fire me, I'm going to say, I strictly forbid you, and you guys are on your own. You're swimming upstream on your own.
Welcome to the middle of a conversation as we come back.
Yes, to the Succubus Club on klbc.org, your truly underground radio station. That was Superfine doing I Already Met You, and you can get that on the Buffy soundtrack. And that's from Teacher's Pet 1.4. And this is Kitty. That's Candy over there.
Hi, how you doing?
That's Jane Espenson.
Hello.
And that's producer Ethan.
And speaking of Teacher's Pets, I want to say hi to Richard.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Good. Richard, my student.
Queen of the segue over here. She's doing it better than we are, man.
And right about now, Richard's going, I'm not the teacher's pet. He's not. He's so not. But he's a very good writer.
Oh, very good.
There you go. Wow, okay, great. Kick ass. Okay, we are back.
It's 6:45, so we got about 15 or so minutes with Jane.
after that, after Jane leaves, we will be making a few announcements, and we will give a more detailed kind of review of what we thought of last night's show and of Angel's season finale last Monday night, entitled Tomorrow. We wanted to talk more about Buffy, actually. Obviously, this was a very dark season for her, one that she had to come through, go through the crap to get to a better place, which I think most young women, can somewhat relate to. I know I could, and that's why I liked this season. I know that there's a lot of people out there who maybe didn't like it because they couldn't really identify with that, and at least I'm assuming as much, because I thought a lot of it rang very true. Metaphorically speaking, obviously. But now that she's in this better place and she wants to take grasp of this world and show Dawn what it's all about, and she's all happy, sunny, and all right, no singing, remember? Sorry. What does this mean for her for next season? I mean, you said before we're going to see more of season 1, type of back to the beginning.
Well, I mean, Buffy really embraced a role at the end of the finale, where she sort of said, "I will show you the world." She, as if she were in Aladdin, she said those very words, and sort of embraced the role of mentor. And I think we will see that next year. We will see what that means
to Dawn.
Or somebody.
To Dawn or other people's.
Or other people's.
And or other people's.
And, she's gonna open a How to Be a Slayer workshop, apparently.
So she's going to change the button that says I'm a Slayer, ask me how.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to wear it.
She's going to wear it. Right. And people will ask.
And I have one of those.
I do too.
I made one.
I know.
I maybe did.
What were we supposed to take necessarily from the Spike and Buffy relationship, from Buffy's point of view? I mean, what did she learn from that? Because I would assume you'd want to do that for a purpose. Something was supposed to come out of it. What came out of it for Buffy? What did she learn from that relationship specifically?
It's an interesting question. Because if you suggest that she had, if you suggest that she had mistakes and she learned. That she made mistakes and she learned about them and how not to do them, then you are in danger of implying that she deserved what she got because she made mistakes with him and then he attacked her, which is, of course, not the case. Right. With that caveat, though, I do think that she did not. Spike was not the only. Boy, it's a minefield. I think Buffy learned that there are big chunks of Buffy that she didn't know were there. That she's in love with the dark or in love with misery, in love with pain, whatever it is, there was something in her that was able to respond to soulless Spike, and she did not know she was not aware she was capable of that. I think that's what I found very interesting, was Buffy sort of going, I'm not who I thought I was. And her feeling that she had to hide that, and then realizing she didn't, that her friends could accept it.
Okay.
That was, I thought, very cool and very positive.
Because she was afraid all season long of them finding out.
That's right.
And I think one of the most interesting parts of last night's show was the fact that she tells Giles this.
Point
blank. And there's no pointing fingers or wagging fingers. There's no blaming. He simply laughs. Now, the laughing is obviously about all of the things that have happened. But the fact is, he didn't point that out.
That's right.
And tell her what a bad person she was for doing it.
Or give her that look.
Or give her exactly.
Right. He treats her like a grown-up now, which is beautiful. Yeah. I really like where their relationship is now, where they really do deal with each other as partners in this enterprise and not as Watcher and Slayer anymore. And that's a tricky thing to do, to allow characters to change like that and to figure out where they would be as they age and change. And I really loved that moment between them. I love that he doesn't call her on it. And that she realizes that it's not as dire as she was making it. That adults realize sometimes, you go for... Everybody's got urges and darkness and kinky and
handcuffs.
Yeah.
And handcuffs.
And
it's not something to be ashamed of.
Right.
I mean,
exactly. In fact, if Buffy hadn't been ashamed of it, it would have gone better.
It's true.
The whole way through.
That's true. And the only person who really has had a problem with it was Xander, and that's to be expected because I think he feels a sense of protectiveness over
Well, also, I think he puts her on a pedestal in a way. Not that he she's unreachable, but like he would say, "You're my hero, Buffy." You kind of
and she's kind of his too.
Yeah. And she sort of looks at her in a different way.
But I think he was more upset that she didn't feel she could tell him.
Yeah.
I think that was if she had come to him right when she started seeing Spike and saying, "I don't know what this is about, but I find myself to be sleeping with Spike," that he would have been a lot cooler with it than finding out how he found out.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
And it's interesting you brought up the change in the characters because a lot of people. I know you said next season is going to go back to more what it felt like in the first season. But a lot of people haven't liked the change in the characters. Right. And I always say, well, everyone changes. You can't stop the Simpsons. They don't just stay the same.
Right. That is actually, and I understand why it's hard for people to accept. But I think it's very real. And when you see a loss of innocence, I always get very worried when someone describes something as a coming-of-age story, because I always go, "Oh, this is the story of somebody getting laid."
Yep.
And I don't like loss of innocence stories. I don't like stories that say you have to lose the childlike part of yourself in order and grow hard to function in the world. You don't. You can remain sweet and retain your childlike delight and all those things, and yet people change, and so I understand why people are freaked out, but I also think the changes have been very realistic and very believable and age appropriate for our characters.
I agree.
And that's what it comes down to is people who aren't willing to accept the change in characters that they've come to love. And I mean, it was hard to watch Willow the way she was these last couple of episodes. It was hard. And I like the way Jonathan last night, he specifically went on that little spiel and said, Willow, our Willow, the one that used to bring the lunch bag to
that was the weird line. Something Rosenberg. He said, what was it? He said
there was the one where they called her Rosenberg.
Something Rosenberg.
Andrew said it or something.
I can't remember.
It was funny though.
That was the thing I was thinking of. Maybe we'll think of it.
But Doug Petrie wrote that line and worked very hard on it, and I was in his office and he said, listen to this line. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah, and it reminds us that Jonathan was there when they were in school.
Yeah.
And he knew them all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, and there were a lot of people who I talked with on the internet saying they would stop watching when Willow became gay. Because they used to watch with their kids, and now she's changed, and it's all horrible, and now I can't let my daughter see it. I'm like, wait, why?
Yeah,
I was very confused by that. We probably lost some people then. We'll lose some people now, but you gotta, when it's time to change, you've got to rearrange.
Oh, Brady Bunch.
Is that the second or the third Brady Bunch reference we've the second.
I'm waiting for a Brady Bunch episode, but X-Files just did one, so you can't really do that. Well, we only have a few minutes left. Why don't we talk about what you can say about next season that you haven't maybe already said, or maybe synopsis?
Oh, I've said far too much. Next season, yes, looping around to the beginning, high school, mentoring. Joss doing some writing.
Is she still going to work at the Double Meat?
I think she actually has already been fired at the Double Meat.
She hasn't
been there for a while. Yeah.
And maybe we'll see Giles.
What
about somebody like Amy, who's kind of been left up in the air? I mean, is that always a possibility of bringing her back?
It is always a possibility. Okay. Absolutely.
Any other returns that were...
very possible. I mean, you could see some of the trio, bits and pieces of the trio. You could see. This is an interesting little hint. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see some old villains.
Ooh, like Drusilla.
Maybe.
Faith?
Maybe more than that.
Faith is out there. She's in jail.
Faith.
I think
she's busy.
I thought Willow was going to be hanging out with Faith in jail. It's going to be where she is.
Yeah, I don't think I can comment on Faith because I have no idea actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and she said maybe more.
Maybe more.
Ooh. Back to the beginning, Master. We're thinking that.
I don't know about the mask.
I'm just saying.
She's got a look.
What? I have no look. Look, you guys out there, back me up. Do I have a look?
I see no look.
What look? There's no look.
Anything else you want to ask before we...
I'm sure there's something else. As soon as she walks out the door, we go, damn.
And everybody at home's going, ask her this, ask her this.
I know, like,
Sorry.
You know who I want to see again? I want to see John Ritter again.
Yes,
oh,
Ted. Well, can we see him in another role, maybe? I mean, does he have to be... Because Ted's kind of...
Well, he could have built more than one.
That's true.
Which I actually had Dawn point that out when the Buffy bot was around. I had Dawn, I specifically wrote a line for Dawn where she said, "Is it Ted?" Because I always thought there could be more.
Yes.
And I was just laying the seeds.
I like that. I love it when you refer the old episodes like
I
that.
know.
It's really nice.
I feel like it's a little treat for the fans.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
I know. I love it.
So we're hoping that you will be able to write more episodes next season than you did this one.
Yes. Everybody write letters saying Jane Espenson should write more
I'm serious.
episodes.
Tell
I'm
him.
serious.
Tell Tim he's got to let you write for Angel. To make you.
Tim's all busy over at Firefly.
Well, tell him, but consult him.
Tell whoever you need to tell to let you work.
That the Succubus Club gals want you to work at Angel. And obviously Firefly. And I don't know.
No, Buffy. I want her to work on Buffy.
Well, she's our connection to Buffy.
The thing is, you guys are going to love Firefly so much when you guys see Firefly.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
I love the lead, Nathan Fillion, the lead actor there.
Who is that?
I used to watch him on One Life to Live when he used to be on
Another
soaps.
soap guy.
You're going to like him. He's been described as very climb-upable.
He's hot. I swear, he's hot. I love him. I think he's awesome.
Like
he's a good actor.
And you know who?
Kick him out of bed for eating giant goldfish crackers.
You know who else is in it? Is Ron Glass, who played Detective Harris on Barney Miller.
Okay.
If y'all remember that,
Yeah.
a very, very stylish detective is with us on Firefly.
Awesome.
Oof, very
Very
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for coming in
you.
and for fitting us into your schedule.
Oh, no problem.
And coming in, and we
For
hope
the
you'll.
third annual time.
And if Buffy returns after next, or we hope you come back next season.
Yeah, we know we'll be here next season.
But we're not sure about after that.
We're not sure.
Money has to be thrown, so says David Fury.
Yeah.
He says
Yes.
money has already started to be thrown, so we'll see where it lands.
We will see.
And I hope some of it lands over here.
Sponsor us!
Sponsor the Succubus
Come on,
Club.
UPN.
Should we start a petition?
Yeah, we should. Let's put up another petition.
Who's going to get that? But there's a petition for season 8, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll be talking about that.
Petitions don't raise money, though. That's the problem.
That's true.
It would if you had to pay money to sign it.
That's true. Hey, get on that, somebody. Thank you anyway. Thank you so much for coming in,
Thank
and
you.
we will wish you the best of luck for next season, Firefly, Buffy, and even on
possibly
Angel.
Yeah.
And we'll see you here next year at the end of the season.
Absolutely.
I'm writing it into my book right now.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so when we come back, Kenny and I are gonna give you our overview of what we thought of the episodes and give you some announcements and things like that. And again, we want to thank our very special guest Jane for coming in.
Yay.
We're very happy she was here. Yay! And we will be back. Obviously, you can tune out, but we will be back. And this song's for me because I just love them.
Oh, and wait,
What?
I'm very, very sorry about Tara. Really.
Aww,
We really
she's like,
feel
don't send me
bad.
hate
And
mail.
it is very possible that we did a bad thing, and I don't want to completely exonerate us because I could be. It is possible.
Okay, interesting.
That's very cool of
That's
you.
very nice of you to say. All right, so with that said, Jay's going to take off, and we're going to come back, and this is THC with Dip. Welcome back to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station. And I'm back on the good mic. It's been 3 weeks.
Dude, and we're like alone.
I know. It's like,
I mean, we've got Ethan here.
well, he's like our Scooby Gang.
You're our Slayerette.
You're our Slayerette. And that was THC doing Dip from Wild at Heart 4.6. And let me just tell you, I love THC. And you cannot get that CD anywhere. If you know someone who has
She's
it,
got
burn it.
mine, for heaven's sake.
I know, I stole it from you.
The thing is that George Sarah then did the album with Anthony Stewart Head, which I burned you a copy of that. Do you like that one as much?
Yes. Well, no, I don't like it as much, but you know what? I don't listen to it as much.
But it's good. It's actually really good. If you don't have it, you can buy it off the link off our main page,
Right.
Music for Elevators. And then also Charles, who, if some of you longer time listeners know, did the indie shop after us when we were at the other station. He put together a CD of he went and saw George Sarah, who is the one who writes the music.
He did?
He saw him in concert
wow.
a couple months ago. And I haven't seen Charles in a couple months. I just saw him the other day. And he gave me a CD of, like, all this other music he was doing. And it's all just so good. And he's so talented. So...
Very cool.
Okay.
So it's weird that we're now, we want to thank Jane for coming in. We did start earlier, and apologize for those of you who forgot or who didn't look at our website or something, but
not our fault.
What can you do? What can you do? It was easier for Jane to come here earlier because she had some prior engagements.
Yes.
So we're very glad that she was here. We had a great time talking to her.
Absolutely.
And now it's kind of nice that we actually...
Who are you?
I know, who are you? Who are you? It's kind of nice that we sort of have this last hour... Just the three of us, just the two of us.
That's how it should be. Just to end the season, because for those of you who don't know, this is our last show until the fall.
Yeah.
And we were lucky to get tonight, to be quite honest with you.
I know. It was scary for a while. We thought we were going to have to stop, like, right before the season finale.
So after tonight, we will not be around all summer long. But what we want you to do is to make sure you keep checking, either go back and keep checking the website.
Yes.
Or subscribe to our mailing list, which is very easy to do. You find it on the front page of our main page. Off to the left-hand side, you'll see subscribe to Succubus Club mailing list, and you just click there and you do all that stuff. And if you're on that mailing list, we will let you know whenever something's coming up. We'll let you know when our first day is back in the fall, et cetera, et cetera. We'll let you know all that kind of stuff. So... We don't send a lot of stuff through that, so you're not going to get you're not going to get nailed with a bunch of messages. It's just basically like an announcement list and some comments from some of the listeners. It's no big deal.
And obviously you can make comments too.
Absolutely.
But do join the mailing list so you know when we'll be back. And it's not that we don't want to be here. It's just our new digs KLBC, which we love. Is not going to be open during the summer for us to use.
Right. So
there you go. Maybe next year it will be. I know it's something that they are working on doing, as well as getting a computer, in here. And so maybe next year there'll be some Ethan's laughing.
Get on that, Ethan.
So maybe next when we come back in the fall, there'll be some changes. Maybe we'll be able to. But for now, that's the way it is. So, what can you do?
Why don't we make some of the announcements right now before I don't want to forget about them and I don't want to run out of time.
Okay. Here's some announcements, okay? I'll start small, okay?
Ooh, small.
We're going to there's two things we're going to put up on the website that we got recently, just for your FYI. Number one, 4-Star Mary, if you live in the LA area or have access to the Los Angeles area, 4-Star Mary is going to be playing this Saturday at the Gig in Hollywood. And you can probably go to their website, I think it's 4starmary.com. If you're on their mailing list, I got like a thing talking about the show, and we're going to put that up on the website tonight or tomorrow. So if you're interested in going to see 4-Star Mary at the Gig in Hollywood, that will be this Saturday. Also, we got from a listener a link for a petition to bring a season 8. Now, again, if it's a matter of money, there's something we could do about it. But hey, they could listen and go, well, we really want this. Maybe if
it'll be nice to see that how much people want it.
Right.
Some people may not want it.
They might go
7 may be just enough.
They might be, I don't want season 7.
8 may not be enough.
Right.
7 might be enough.
Exactly. So we're gonna put that up on the website as well.
Okay.
You want to talk about the GFs?
Yeah. Golden Fang Awards, this is the 3rd annual Golden Fang Awards coming up. This year, obviously, since tonight's our last show, usually in years past, what we've been able to do is devote a whole show just to the Golden Fang Awards. Those of you who've participated in the past know that we put up a ballot. You guys vote. It's all by the fans.
Yes, it's all listener votes.
For about a week, and then we tally the votes, and we have a whole show, and we announce the winners. It's a big deal here at Succubus Club land.
Except this year.
This year, it's a little different because of what we've already mentioned, that we're not going to be doing any more shows. So, it will be web-based completely. And what this means is tonight, I leave here at 8. I'll get home about 10 or 11. I live far away.
You live in something called Romoland or something. I was like, what is that?
It's right by Hemet. For those of you who do a lot of skydiving, it's by Lake Paris.
You gotta say Hemet like that.
Hemet. It's Sun City. It's all around there. It's out in the desert.
It's in the boonies.
It's real dirty.
It's in the 909.
Seriously. Anyway, my point being, I get home late. Tonight when I get home, I'm going to be uploading the ballot for the Golden Fang Awards and updating the website to give you the link for the Golden Fang Awards. So sometime tonight around midnight Pacific time, midnight 1 a.m. around there, the ballot will be up, and you will be allowed to vote from there until the end of the month. And at the end of the month, at midnight,
which is May 31st. It's not that far away.
No, it's about 9 days. You'll have that amount of time to vote. 1 vote per person. I will know if you voted twice, and that second vote will be deleted. Lots of great categories. What will happen is it'll end May 31st, and then on June 1st, I will put the winners up on the website. Again, a lot of this is just going to be done through the website.
Right.
So the winners will be up June 1st with pretty little graphics like last year. And
those are cool.
Yeah. And so just keep up with the website. Go there maybe sometime tomorrow in the next couple days and make sure you get in your ballot.
Do we have the category this year, favorite Succubus Club host? Katie Candy or Ethan?
We were going to do that last year, I remember, but with Jam Mike and with Punker Mike as the other alternative. Favorite Succubus Club personality.
Right, there you go.
And then we decided that'd be a little mean.
I know, because you get all the votes.
No.
I think Ethan would win.
Ethan would probably win in a list.
Ethan would just win by default. Just
we would cancel each other's votes.
Because everybody would just be like, we're sick of them. We're voting for Ethan.
We've been listening to them for far too long. We like Ethan the best.
I'd vote for Ethan.
I would too.
I'd vote for Ethan.
Yeah, I don't like you all that much.
Yeah,
and I know you're kind of sick of me. But we have a lot of great categories. You know, the typical ones about Best Actress, Supporting Actor, Actress.
And it is Buffy and Angel combined.
It is combined, but we have, great fun things, like Best Fight, Best Kiss, Best Couple.
Worst hair,
worst style and dress. We got, I know one category strictly just for Buffy is your favorite song from the musical. Mm-hmm. Got categories like best supporting or best
underused character.
Most underused character. So, and who would you like to see return? That kind of thing. Just fun little fan awards.
And we still have best one-liners. So start thinking of the one-liners that you like.
Favorite episode, favorite writer from each show.
Yes.
And all sorts of fun little things. So we've been gathering the nominees through the entire season, and so it's pretty thorough, I think, in my opinion, and a lot better than last year when I had to guess on a lot of them. Shh, don't tell anybody. But it's pretty fair, and it's pretty thorough, so I think you guys will enjoy it. If a nominee that you want to be on there isn't on there, don't bother, because it's not going on there afterwards. Sorry. It's just
next
how it is.
Year.
Yeah, next year we'll take it into consideration. But just so sometime tomorrow or in the next few days, head on over there. And
we'll put it up on the website and the mailing list.
Yes, we'll send out a link to the mailing list as soon as it's up. I'll remind everybody about that.
Absolutely. Listener appreciation.
Listener appreciation. Again, usually is a whole show unto itself.
Yes.
Not this year.
No.
If you've headed to our website, you've seen that we have
the stuff.
Oh, my gosh. Have you seen, Ethan?
The stuff we have.
Did you go over there? Did you see the list of all the cool stuff we have?
And we just had Jane sign the cool Lone Gunman comic.
Yes, which is rare.
And it was courtesy of City of Angel.
Absolutely. And so we have, if you go to our website, you'll see a list of all the stuff we've got. Some of it signed, some of it not, but it's still very cool. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to pick listeners to appreciate.
Yes.
It's a little different than last year. Last year it was completely random. This year it's a little more concentrated. We're actually sincerely appreciating people who have participated in the show, who have supported us and the show over the last year, and we are sincerely thanking them with whatever we can.
Yes.
It's not necessarily favoritism. It's simply genuine appreciation.
Right, because, this is stuff we've collected over the years. And
just in this last year.
Yeah, over this last year. And some of it's stuff we've purchased ourselves, that we've bought. Mm-hmm. Some of it has been donated. Mm-hmm. And, I guess we could keep it all. But
we could keep it all.
And there's some cool stuff.
Oh, my
there's some scripts and things, and I'm just like, God, why are we giving this away? But, we do want to appreciate the people that have stuck by us, that have been with us, and that have really helped us, make the show what it is.
And who send letters of love after we get letters of hate.
I know. People go, wow, fine, we don't like you, we don't get appreciated. Oh, well.
You get no prize. You do not get no prize.
So again, if you don't like us, then why would you want something from us anyway?
Exactly.
Especially the signed Stephen DeKnight lunchbox.
Or the magazine of which Willow is on the cover.
That he signed.
Oh, Willow Terra fans, I don't know if you want that.
They don't want that.
No.
They so don't want that.
No. Anyway, what's going to happen with that is over the next week or so, Kitty and I off the air are going to get together and kind of determine who gets what. And that will be posted, the list of winners, their names, or not their email addresses, but we're going to get as close as we can. Winners will be posted on June 1st, the same time as the Golden Fang winners. If your name is on that list, email us, and we will go from there.
Right.
That's how
and
it
if
works.
you don't, so you need to look. And if you don't contact us, then after a while, we're just going to give your prize to somebody else.
Yep, or we'll just keep it for next year.
Or we'll just keep it for next year.
Yeah. We'll give you maybe, 2-3 weeks to contact us, to check the website, let us know, and after that, it's back in the pool, kids.
Exactly. And one thing we also have is a really nice signed poster of Once More with Feeling. Now, we have it's signed by Jane Espenson, David Fury, Stephen DeKnight, Tim Minear, and Drew Greenberg. Okay?
Yes.
And so signed by those 5 people that have been on the show.
With little messages. They don't just sign their name.
Right, they didn't just sign their name.
They wrote little messages, which is very cool.
And they're hilarious.
And we're not going to tell you what they are.
We're not going to tell you what they are. Now, here's what we're doing with that. And we'll let you know through our website and through the mailing list how you can get your hot little hands on this poster.
Because this is going to take a little more work.
This is taking a little more work on our part because what we're going to do is we're going to put it up on eBay, but we're going to do a private eBay auction. So that means not anybody just searching through eBay could get in on this auction. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a private auction. We'll tell you how to get in on the auction, and all the money will go to charity. We will not keep the money.
No.
We will not.
Lord knows we deserve it.
Lord knows we need the money.
And we need it.
Oh, God, do we need it. But we're not going to keep the money. We will give the money to charity, and we will let you know what charity it goes to. So if you don't like the charity, you don't have to bid on it. Mm-hmm. And that's how we're going to do it.
Like, I'm against children. I will not allow my money to go to children's charities.
I'm against saving the whales, man. I'm against fuzzy animals and endangered species.
I'm actually for cancer, so I will not donate to anything fighting cancer.
So depending on, we might spread it out. Like it'll go to a couple different charities.
Yeah,
I have certain charities that I wouldn't mind it going to. So that's how that's going to go. So the money will go to a good cause, as well as you get a really cool signed poster.
And you'll get a receipt. It's not like or a deposit slip from my bank. I don't know.
And it is an original first printing of the poster.
It is, and it is signed by all of those people as such. And it's kept in really good condition. It'll be sent. I'm not framing it for you.
No, it's rolled up in a tube.
Yeah, and we'll send it to y'all pretty. So there's that. That's going to come later in the summer when we work all the details out. So there's that. And one of the reasons why we're doing it in private auction is because we don't want outsiders, as I should say, anybody who might just come in, swoop down, try to bid on it, and get it, and then turn around and sell it somewhere else for hire. Mm-hmm. And that's not what we want to do. We want a fan or a fan of the show who's going to listen, who's going to get it and keep it and cherish it. Absolutely.
That's what we want. That's why we want to do it in a private auction. So, that's what we wanted.
Okay.
This Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Okay, here's the deal, kids. We're not on all summer. So one of our listeners, Dear Flipley, came to us and said, hey, how about if we try and schedule some kind of a Succubus Club trip, a retreat, a gathering, a vacation, if you will, to somewhere like Vegas or Southern California or something like that.
And we were like, sure, great. We didn't think it was actually going to happen.
I so didn't think he was going to do it. But he did.
Oh, yes, he did. With the help of Mia and Slayer Steph.
Absolutely. And so between the three of them, they hooked us in, man. We will be in Las Vegas July 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
I won't be there the 8th, though.
Yeah, she's going to leave on the 7th.
I have to leave.
But the rest of us will be there on the 8th. It's a long weekend in Vegas, and we're going to be there. We are inviting anybody who wants to come to Vegas and who has the means to come to Vegas to come to Vegas and hang out with us. We will put together, I believe, one function that will become kind of like an official function of the weekend. The rest, you can do whatever you want to. You can leave. You don't have to hang out with us at all.
Right.
It's kind of like the PvP where, the other things are kind of optional if you want to go to them.
Mm-hmm. But we'll have one thing on one of the nights, perhaps the Saturday night, where, we'll let everyone know where we're going to be and we're all going to go somewhere and have fun.
Right. Let me make this perfectly clear. We're not paying for you. This is not a trip to win. This is we can barely afford to go ourselves.
Right.
But this is us just letting you know if you want to take a vacation around that time, if you're not sure what you want to do, We'll all be in Vegas. We'll be having a blast, and it'll be fun. And if you want to come, what we would like for you to do is email us at vegas@thesuccubusclub.com, and that email will be forwarded to one of the 3 people we've already mentioned to take care of the details to let you know what's going on. So, if you're interested or want more information, vegas@thesuccubusclub.com. Again, this is July 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. That email and this information will be also put up on the website tonight. Yes. So, that's the deal with that. We're going to do thank yous at the end of the show.
We have a list of thank yous, and we'll do that at the end.
And we're going to take a break right now and play a song. And when we come back, we're going to... no, the one on top of it.
Yeah.
That one, yes.
Okay.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will give our final thoughts, more specific thoughts about Buffy.
Right, and the episode, and the rest of the episodes, and the season.
And also, we'll touch on Angel as well.
Absolutely. All right, fitting that this was also a season finale song, Sarah McLachlan with Full of Grace.
I hate this place. No, I don't really hate this place. I'll tell you why.
Oh, my God, GM Mike. Oh, my God. GM Mike. This is like a spoiler we didn't know about.
This is the spoiler we didn't know about.
Okay, well, we'll go to the song. When we come back, you have to stay. And you have 30 seconds with GM Mike.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'm going to
it's a good thing we screwed up the song.
I did. I totally screwed up the song, and I was coming back to say, damn it. And then he walks in. Okay.
Okay, Sarah McLachlan, Full of Grace?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Here we go.
There. Welcome back to the Succubus Club on KLVC.org, your truly underground radio station. That's Sarah McLachlan doing Full of Grace from Becoming 2.22. And I'm Kitty, that's Candy, it's producer Ethan over the corner, and GM Mike.
Woo! You are on.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me now?
you are on.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
This is so cool because, I mean, obviously for those of you who've been listening for a long time, you know that, GM Mike, was our GM. And he'll always be GM Mike no matter what.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yes. So now
This is like the best thing because
I know it's like the best last show.
all we need is like Punk or Mike to come in and
I know, waiting for the door to open.
Punker?
I can't hear myself.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's the mic.
It's the mic.
Is it really?
Yeah.
People
You can
seem
hear
to
me?
be able to hear okay out there.
Oh, okay.
That's okay because it's just you.
Oh,
just kidding.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, GM Mike used to come in almost every show and do 30 seconds with GM Mike, talk about the previous night's Buffy.
Yeah.
Did you watch last night's final episode of Buffy?
Yeah, it was great.
Did you?
I really,
What was your favorite part?
Yeah.
I like the ending. The Sarah
great.
McLachlan song. It really put me in tears.
See, it helps that he listened to the show earlier.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you like the 2-hour finale?
Yeah. I like the 3rd hour special.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, 3rd hours are our specialty.
You mean the news?
Yeah, the news that was on
Exactly.
him.
It put everything in place for me. So.
Yeah, great perspective you had there.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that Spike scene?
It was.
At the end.
The whole montage and how it flowed from one into the other. It was good.
Really? What about Willow? How do you think,
Oh,
What do
yeah.
you think about Willow?
Was Willow in it? Oh, didn't she rise from the, stick her hand out of the grave or something?
Oh, my God. What do you think of Willow's hair?
Oh, my God.
And I know you had some interest in that, too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
What
You're
color
good.
was it?
Orange?
What color was it after it was orange?
Blue.
No, that was me.
Yellow.
No, that was me.
Green.
No, I never had
Red.
green. No.
Brown.
No.
Black.
Yes, there you go. Oh, Mike, we love you so much.
Yes, we
Oh,
do.
shit.
Hey, oh. It wasn't me.
Oh, my God.
What did you do?
She broke her
No.
earring or
This is
something.
one of my stones from my ring.
Is it diamond?
No, it's not
Oh.
diamond.
Is it one of your grandma's rings?
Yes, it's one of my stones.
Well, I can hear myself now.
Woohoo. Lucky you.
Excuse me. Entertain yourselves.
Hey, Jim, Mike.
Yeah.
How you doing there?
I'm pretty good. Candy, how are you
I'm
doing?
doing okay.
Really?
Oh, come on. You guys have more to do than that.
No, okay, so we were just talking about internet radio and how we may not be on the air next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh? What? Oh, you mean because of that carp
Because
thing
the
and all
whole
that?
thing going through.
Yeah, because if KLBC can't stay on the air, we're going to have to find other digs. We're going to have to do this out of the back of a Jeep and drive through the desert.
Yeah.
Like Christian Slater.
Right, and pump up the volume.
That's, you know what? No, you guys.
I'm only going to do it if Ethan comes with
It's
us.
funny you guys mention that because it's all going to come full circle right now.
Really?
My whole reason for starting my internet radio show from my dorm room
Right.
was because of that movie.
And anybody who knows anything knows that Mike doing that out of his dorm room was the start of K Beach Radio, which is where we were broadcast from.
Wow.
Wow, it's trippy.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling the love.
I'm feeling nauseous right about now. Too many golden
And
fishy
plus you
things.
guys have been on for 3 hours, too.
It's
That
2.5
must
at
be
this
like-
point. I know.
know.
People are sick of us.
I know. I'm sick of us.
I'd be sick of you.
Are you sick of us, Ethan?
Ethan loves us. Don't know.
I think it's great every time I call Succubus Club producer Ethan.
We made him do that. Okay, this is the story. This is what it was. The first phone call we got, he just said hello, or he said KLBC, can I help you, or something like that. And after he hung up, I'm like, Ethan, you have to answer it the right way. You have to say, this Succubus Club, this is producer Ethan, can I help you? So then the next time the phone rang, he did it, and we were like talking, and we heard it, we just busted up, man. That was so.
He has a huge fan club.
And
you
the
know?
thing is, I mean, honestly, it's, it really makes the show, and it's, it's funny because I think it's a great thing, really to be a producer of this show. I mean, you guys have an awesome. My friend was just walking by, and he was walking by my office and he heard it. I'm like, yeah, these are my friends from, they did a show, blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, they sound really good.
Aww.
And
Aww,
I mean, you guys, it sounds really good. I try and tune in whenever I can, seeing as I kind of have to, because the stream seems to be broken in one way or the other. But no, I mean, it's it's awesome that you guys have been doing it as long as you have, and it's it's really built up a following.
Yeah.
Over 3 years.
I keep telling them they got to keep going.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Mike is like our little cheerleader. He keeps seeing. I'll see him on AIM. I'll see him on AIM, and he's like, you guys should do something with this, like do something. And I'm like, yeah, and
Like get paid.
But I mean, it's really cool. You guys have done a good job, and just want to congratulate you.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you.
And
I'm all verklempt, just like last night's episode.
I know. At the end with that thing.
Right, with the thing, with the rise out of the grave thing.
Yeah, apparently that was Willow, too.
Apparently it was
I
Willow.
didn't even know that.
It made me
Right.
cry.
Really?
That's
I
what
know.
fun.
Oh, I know. We have a connection.
It's like butter.
It's like butter. Oh.
It's just like butter.
This is bad Saturday Night Live.
It is.
Or Bad Succubus Club. That's saying something.
I know. I know. That is.
We were going to talk about Buffy here, but apparently we're not going to.
No, we will.
No, it's okay. We like
So,
having Jan Mike here.
To get totally off the subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
'cause I know
You haven't already?
Oh, people have tuned out already.
Oh,
Don't worry.
really?
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh, they stopped listening. Like
have you been
when
listening
Jane
to Mark
left.
and Brian and
No.
their very scientific method of figuring out whether the Lakers or the Kings are going to win?
No, what'd they
Oh, you
do?
haven't?
No,
I don't listen to
haven't.
Mark and Brian.
Okay, well, the thing is, they have a very scientific method on figuring out on who's going to win, whether the Lakers or the Sacramento Kings. What is this, the West Coast?
The West
Coast Conference
Finals.
Yeah. Do you follow it?
Yeah,
She's a
you
huge
follow it?
Lakers
I'm a
fan.
huge Laker fan.
Well, they have their very scientific method for figuring out how. Actually, they had a very scientific method of trying to get a car alarm to go off. And what they did is hook the microphone up to a set of speakers, and they wanted people to fart to try and set off the car alarm.
And if the car alarm got set off, then the Lakers would win?
No, this has actually it's totally
Different
separate.
thing.
But
Oh, okay.
apparently, no one had any gas that morning.
Oh,
so,
God.
But anyways, going back to the Lakers.
Thank God we don't do that in the show.
Let's go back to the Lakers,
yeah, so there's
please.
a very scientific method for figuring out who is going to win. This is trying to predict who's going to win. What they do is they call up, let's say, two of the same. They start with the target. So they start with the target in Sacramento and target in L.A. They'd call up and they'd call up the target and go, hi, this is Mark and Brian. Your voice is on the air. L.A. Lakers are going to win. And they see how they respond. First person they call hangs up. They go, okay. So then they call up.
I'd be like, screw you.
They call up the target in L.A. They go, this is Mark and Brian radio show. Your voices on the air. Sacramento Kings are going to win. And they go, no, they're not. And they go, really? They go, no, they're not. And they go, okay, thank you. So that's 1 point to 0. So they've been calling like all these places.
I'm surprised that more Kings fans aren't like freaking out.
Actually, I have it flipped around because the first girl that picked up in Sacramento, she's like, no, the Sacramento Kings are going to win. Sacramento Kings are going to win. But it's funny. So they called Starbucks. They called Target. They called In-N-Out.
They should call us.
They called Dairy Queen. They've been calling all these places.
They called
And
Dairy Queen. The
Very
DQ.
scientific
The DQ.
method of figuring out who's going to win.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who's winning?
I think the Lakers are up right now.
Really?
Yeah, they're like 4-2.
Well, they are going to win,
Apparently.
Well, they are.
So what happens after they win? Who do they play next?
Probably the New Jersey Nets, unless.
Is that the East Coast?
Yes,
Conference?
unless Boston beats the Nets, which I don't think so.
So you can tell how much I follow this. It's all,
Mike doesn't. It has nothing to do.
If all is right with the world, it will be. Well, of course, some people think it would be great if it was a Celtic-Laker game, but the Celtics aren't going to win. It's going to be New Jersey versus the Lakers. It better be.
Oh boy.
Wow, that was way off
Because if
topic.
it isn't, all right, it's way off topic. People are.
Oh, I also brought you guys some other presents. It's not like super great, but this is actually a new flavor.
Oh, I have the mint ones.
Uh-huh.
What is it? The mint.
The thing is, for the listeners, I was in my office and their breath smelled really bad. I could just smell it all the way.
Ours,
Yeah.
apparently.
So I just wanted to provide them with some mints, because they really they needed it. And I gave them 2 each,
She only gave me one.
No, I don't need to. I have the other flavor.
What flavor is this?
These are
what did I just
vanilla
stick in my
mint
mouth?
blast. They're drugs.
Ecstasy laced with that crap, and here's some alcohol, and then
Weed in there too.
there you go. Now you won't be going to prom.
What? Are we not supposed to talk about this?
Oh, sorry, never mind.
Oh, no drug talk? Oops.
Buffy.
Buffy on drugs?
Producer Ethan is getting on our case. I guess we're not supposed to be talking about
Okay, let's not talk about it. Buffy.
Oops,
Talk
we
about
did
Buffy.
talk about that.
Let's talk about Buffy.
Let's talk about Buffy.
Rugs? Anyone want to get some rugs?
Those acid-free rugs?
Yeah, I need an Oriental rug.
I want to talk about what I thought about Buffy and Angel.
I was underwhelmed with last night's show.
I was a little
They should go
underwhelmed.
out.
Huh? You think they should date
think they
Buffy
should
and
date.
Angel?
Yeah, oh, no. For a second, I thought they were both guys. I was like, oops. Wait. Oh, no, Buffy's
That's a
a
whole
girl.
other show.
Oh my god. I was a little underwhelmed too. And
See, now this is getting beyond me.
No.
This is like where 30
could still
seconds
listen.
starts going.
well, you could let Ethan sit because he actually watched last night's episode.
Did he really?
It's his job.
It's his job, man. He takes his job seriously.
He's watched about...
Are you saying I don't take my job seriously?
I watched the whole first episode on DVD.
Oh,
The first season? The whole first... Oh, good for you.
sweet.
I'm getting denied.
Ethan's barely watched any Buffy, for those of you who didn't know.
Prophecy Girl. Good episode, huh? Last one?
The very last
Good?
one.
Good one.
You get out of there.
Get out of there.
Let
Let
Ethan
Ethan
talk.
in.
I'm getting ixnayed.
Yeah, you are.
Say hello to all the fans, because you have fans
Hello,
too.
all the do I really?
Absolutely.
I went in the chat
They
board
miss
and there
you.
were like 3 people. They're like, hi, Gia Mike. Hi, Gia Mike.
That's sweet. Yeah, not many people in our chat room.
Yeah, there were about like
Because it boots people out.
10 in there. It does it?
Sometimes.
There's Yahoo. What do you want?
Yeah. Yahoo.
Ooh.
I can't do that anymore.
Her voice is
My
cracked.
voice is gone.
What'd you do?
Scream
Yelling
too
at the
much.
brats.
Too much talking?
Yep.
Too many rugs.
And I say brats with a lot of affection. Hey. Hey, it's yelling at my third session kids.
Good thing this is our last show. We may not come back.
I have to yell over my third session kids. I'm talking all the time.
Shouldn't you not be yelling?
Gia Mike?
Aren't you supposed to have some control?
Say goodbye.
No, I have no control.
Fine then.
I love you, Jim Mike. But
Love you,
say
Mike.
goodbye.
I love you too. I love all you listeners.
Okay, we want Ethan to sit in because we want to actually talk
We're gonna
about.
take a break.
We're gonna take a break. Ethan's gonna sit in. We're gonna talk about Buffy and Angel. Do you watch Angel too? Okay, we'll talk
We
about
like-
Buffy.
I did.
I'll talk about Angel because I want to talk about Angel's slow depth, diving to hell.
Low depth.
Yeah, well, if you saw it, you get it. All right, here we go. When we come back, we will talk about Buffy and Angel, wrap it up,
love this show.
and talk about, and we will thank all the people that we've been wanting to
Thank
thank.
you. Drive
and
through.
yes, thank you, drive through. Rasputina, Transylvanian concubine. Welcome back to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station. I love saying that. That was Rasputina doing Transylvanian concubine, and that's from Surprise 2.13. You haven't watched that season yet,
I have not. No.
but you have watched all of season 1.
Yes.
I'm Katie. That's Candy. We have producer Ethan, who's sitting with us, and we're gonna talk about we're gonna sort of wrap it up, talk about what our final thoughts about last night's Buffy and the season, and I do want to talk a little bit about Angel, and I want to talk about Angel really quick first because
Go ahead.
now if you saw the end of Angel, I wasn't crazy about the whole episode because of the whole Connor thing and the whole. Let's pretend I like you, but I really hate you.
Right.
But I did like the end, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen next season.
It's good, very cliffhangery, which
Yeah.
is always fun.
So they put Angel in a huge steel box. They don't only put him in this huge metal, rusty box, but they seal it, and they bolt him in, and they weld it shut.
And dump them in the ocean.
And dump him in the ocean. He just goes down, down. And I love that. I was like, that is pretty cool. And if it's anything like the Buffy world, 3 months later, are they going to find him?
Well, the thing is that vampires, from what we've seen, at least with Spike in the Salt, we really have to go on any vampires who don't have blood, a sustained nutrition of blood, any kind of blood, it slowly deteriorates them. Right. It doesn't kill them like that, but it is like starving them.
Yeah.
So it will kill them eventually.
That would suck.
And no pun intended.
I know. And the thing is, like, okay, Cordy all powerful. It's like, hello.
She's like a little angel.
You weren't saving Sunnydale anytime soon, were you?
The thing is that will Charisma be back? We don't know yet.
And David didn't say. I mean, he could have been lying to us, but he didn't. Or I won't say lying, but he might have just not been telling us.
He had been leading us on.
Or he may not have known, but. You know, we asked him about if Charisma's coming back, and he said, I didn't hear anything about her not coming back.
Well, and I'll tell you right now, the look on his face said that he knew something, and he just couldn't say anything. Okay. And I'll tell you right now, I paid attention to his face. It was the face of somebody who kind of knew that Charisma may not be back. Now, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm saying that I wouldn't be surprised if Charisma didn't. I don't know why she might not be back. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to spread rumors because there's plenty of them out there spreading already. Yes. If she does not come back, they left it wide open, obviously.
Yes.
If she does not, it will be a great disservice to the show, in my opinion. Charisma is awesome. Cordelia is awesome. I love both of them very much. And as witnessed in the few episodes where she wasn't there, it just felt like there was a huge hole missing. As good as a quality as those shows were, those specific episodes,
right.
You still felt like a huge heart missing from that episode.
But I am loving Wesley. Even though he slept with what's her face?
Lila. And the interesting comment that she made.
He's all, get out.
He was such a bastard.
He was great.
The interesting comment that she made is that Angel is now regaining his soul.
And you're losing yours.
And Wesley's losing his. Very interesting. I'm not sure if I really. I mean, it's cool to see him like that, but I'm not sure if I want him to stay like that.
I'm hoping he doesn't stay like that, but I do like seeing him like this for a little while.
Yeah, I just, again, I'm much with the Scooby aspect of everything, and seeing Gunn and Fred at the end kind of looking around. Where is everybody? Yeah, Cordy's up in wherever. Angel's down in the depths of despair in the ocean, and Wesley's off blinking the bad person.
Lila.
Yeah, whatever.
So we'll see what happens with Angel.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Wasn't the strongest season, wasn't the strongest episode, but I'll be back next season.
I will. Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I was a little bummed it's a Sunday night because HBO has their Sunday night lineup. But, you know, the cool thing about HBO is they always show everything that they showed on Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's not like you'll miss it. Okay. So that's all right.
Buffy. Ethan, you watched last night's show. What did you think?
I liked it.
Did you?
I liked it a lot.
Oh, you liked it a lot.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, you like the dark, evil Willow type of stuff?
Yes, I did. And it was cool just the way it ended because it was right after I had finished watching the first season.
Right.
And so there was a lot of Xander and Willow
going
on. And it ended that way, and it was.
And you can see that their friendship from the very beginning was very strong, and so it made a lot more sense, I'm sure, to you that he was there for. Yeah. Definitely. I would imagine if somebody didn't know how long their friendship had been. I mean, he even mentions it in the episode last night. You know, when you're 5 years old, you broke your crayon. Right. You know that it's a long friendship, and
they always throughout the season they always make reference to how long they've been friends.
Right. So, well, cool. Anything? What else did you? Observant. Come on, just tell us what you thought.
Well, the only thing I'm really confused about at all right now.
Okay, that's fair.
It doesn't even have anything to do with last night's episode. It's watching the first season all the way through.
Right.
When is Buffy's birthday?
It's changed a couple of times.
Yeah, because in the episode where the
demon
screaming demon with the horns was in the computer.
Yes. I Robot You, Jane.
The principal's computer said she was born in 80, and then the guy's computer said it was in 79, like 4 seconds later.
She basically, I think she turned 16. She turned 16 in season 2?
Yeah, I think so.
I think she turned 16 in season 2, and it's a huge birthday when you see season 2 DVDs, which come out in, I believe, June 14th or June 16th, somewhere around there. you'll see it's a huge deal. So every year, and it's actually become a big deal, Buffy's birthday episode. Every single year something bad happens.
Right.
So, or something happens.
And traditionally it's in the month of
February.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's way off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously
we've seen it in May. We've seen it in...
You have to keep in mind season 1 was done and they didn't know if they were going to be picked up for season 2. So they had to probably go back and just change a few things. So just to make it work, because you want the birthday in February sweeps.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But so you like last night's episode?
I did. Very, very much.
Very much. More than before. You're like, wow, that's cool.
Well, I liked it. I don't know. I'm becoming a little Buffy-holic.
See, he's like, I can't stop.
I mean, honestly, it's a good show. It's not just like hot chicks kicking ass, but it's good show. It's good writing. It's good everything.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I dig it.
But it must be interesting to see, sort of like when for us to see Giles come back last night. I don't know if that same impact as it did for you.
I doubt it.
Well, I hadn't had a lot of Giles
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
So, the past few episodes, I know he wasn't there.
Right.
Yes.
But then I really liked him in the season 1 stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that made it really cool also.
Yeah, because for me, for those of you who weren't spoiled, I was so shocked and happy and just, oh my God, I was giddy, that here's Giles saving the day and oh, he's gonna die. I mean, it was so I do feel a little bit that was a little anticlimactic. I mean,
The entire episode or him returning?
no, the whole thing,
Okay.
not Giles. Giles coming back was awesome.
Yeah, it was one of the best parts.
There
of the
was
entire
there was
thing.
so much emotion I had. So and so's gonna die. No, they're gonna live. Giles is here. He might die. Oh my God! I had so many different emotions going into this episode and involved with the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I did feel the same way you did. Just sort of okay.
It wasn't until the last.
But I still liked it. I absolutely liked it.
It was technically very, very good. I have no problems with the writing, directing, and the pacing of the episodes at all. My problem, it comes from my lack of emotional investment in this storyline, in Willow's storyline, to be quite honest with you. And this is a girl who I've watched for 6 years now, who I love and adore and always supported and rooted for. And, when her heart broke, I always said, when Allison Hannigan cries, nothing can stop me from crying, because she cries better than anybody I've ever seen. And she always makes me weepy. And she always makes me feel something for the most part. But this whole trip to the dark side, I question, and I probably could have done it with Jane here, but I didn't want to start a fight.
Because she could probably kick your ass.
She could probably kick my ass. No, I question the timing of everything. Like I mentioned to her, Tara dying earlier on, I think would have had more of an impact on me, because I would have had episode after episode of Willow getting just so grievous and just so.
That's where I disagree with you.
I understood her point by
Right.
saying that it had to be the rage first.
Right.
I get that. But what happened was this show spent so little time building up the Willow-Tara love story, even though they've been together since season 4. They really didn't spend a whole lot of time on them as a couple, to be quite honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
You got something like Buffy and Angel, who from the very first season until the time, I'm not going to spoil Ethan, but till the time of the big thing in season 2, that big thing.
The big thing.
Yeah, the big thing. By that time, you're crying along with them, because this is this great, huge love story that they invested so much time in, and you are aching for these people.
I'm so excited for you to see it for the first time.
It's always great to talk to first-time Buffy watchers. Oh, it's awesome. But with this story, you've got this love story that I believed. I've always liked them together as a couple. I've had no problem with them. And I believe that they're in love and all that good, mushy stuff. But it wasn't enough for me to say I felt bad for Willow. It's not that I wasn't upset that Tara died. Yeah, okay, it sucked. But I didn't feel anything for Willow last night until the very end, and that's where it lost me. Because the whole freaking 2 hours was about her, and about her coming back and all her pain.
I did like the quick descent into the darkness. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good thing to do, because she was so working on the rage. It was not about the emotion. It was not about the grieving. It was about anger, rage. I'm going off half-cocked. I'm not going to listen to what anyone says. I'm going to do what my brain is telling me to do. Evil, evil, hate, hate.
Right.
And I liked that. I thought that was great. I loved all the things she did. I liked everyone was scared. What are we going to do? I did like it. It was exciting. But I do have the same feeling you do in a way. that I didn't really empathize or sympathize with Willow until toward the end.
Right.
I mean, obviously, when Tara died, I totally sympathized with Willow and empathized because I've had deaths in my family.
But it wasn't until she was talking to Xander.
Yes, then I really felt for her. But maybe we weren't supposed to. Maybe we were supposed to just be like, damn, she's evil.
Yeah.
Damn, she's mean.
Every commercial break, every time they would fade to black, I'm like, oh, no. That was every time, I swear, because it was just like, no. But something I really thought was interesting was one scene, I can't remember who exactly she's speaking to, whether it be Giles or Buffy, but she kept switching back from Willow to me, third person to first person.
Yeah.
You know, and because the reason I noticed this is because of something that Fury said about how, you know, Buffy's out of her mind when she's doing this, Willow's out of her mind when she's doing that, therefore making them almost not responsible for their actions, which I think sucks. However, I like the fact that she at first started with Willow this, Willow that, but then she turned it and said me. And it told me that, okay, she's there. Willow's there.
Yeah, she's there a little bit.
And she was paying attention to what she was doing. But in a way that made it more unbelievable to me that Willow, the Willow I knew, would do this.
Yeah.
It's my issues. I'm saying it's my issues having to deal with this.
And I did half expect her to take Xander's skin off, too. I thought she could take everyone's skin off.
What do you
No skin for everyone.
Ethan, what do you think of Dawn?
Of Dawn?
Yes.
I don't know.
Because she ain't in season 1.
Yeah, she's very...
She didn't totally different everything going on.
It is. It really, really is. I was just curious because I played it down with Jane, but I really can't stand the girl. And I really wish she'd go away. And I really wish she'd just disintegrate into a little ball. I was really hoping Willow would turn to a ball of goo.
Well, I was hoping she would, but I don't have the anger and the hate.
I don't have anger and hate. She annoys the crap out of me.
She annoys me too.
And I don't see her purpose. And I swear to God, I think the purpose is if Buffy doesn't come back for season 8.
Okay, that's when I'll stop watching.
There's a freaking Dawn spinoff. I would not be surprised.
That's when I'll stop. I'm not going to watch a Dawn spinoff.
I would not watch
I don't care who goes to that show.
Spike.
Don't say that. Don't throw that curveball at me. I may have to just on principle.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
He's not. I can't.
That was probably the most annoying part. You know who I loved last night? Who I didn't think I would.
Clem.
Well, Clem, you always love.
Who?
How can you love Clem? Yeah, who doesn't?
He's awesome.
I love that. Anya was great last night.
Loved Anya last night
because as Jane mentioned, that especially that one scene, that look on her face after she found out that Xander saved the day. There was just a lot of complexity in her role. She obviously wanted to help, but she didn't really love helping, but she knew she had to.
Right.
I thought that was great, and I thought Emma Caulfield was awesome.
Yes, and I did love how when she sort of beamed herself into the, I won't say beam, I don't know, what is it?
Is it transporting?
Yeah, she transported herself into the jail cell, and they're like, oh my God, and then she kind of goes out, and she goes, okay, you need to get these guys out of here. She's so matter of fact in what she does, and she gets a lot of good laughs, like Jane was saying, and she gets the dramatic stuff too, and she's like, you don't have to believe me, but you got to get them out of here, and I just love how she delivers all her lines. And I just thought she was great. Well, I don't do it justice. You know what she said.
Well, what I think is great about this show is their ability to take somebody like Anya and somebody like Spike and make them likable and make people root for them.
Right, and we've said this before, are we horrible people because we still want Spike and Buffy to have some sort of relationship?
I am so sick and tired of people calling people like me something bad just because I like Spike.
Hey, you're something bad.
Or because I like Spike and Buffy together. And yes, I still like Spike and Buffy together.
So do I.
Even after what he almost did to her.
So do I.
Call me a sick bastard.
Sick bastard.
Call me whatever you want.
You are a sick little puppy. And I am too.
So be it. I like him.
I know I'm sick and insane. Ask my students.
It's okay.
They know I'm crazy.
What do you think, Ethan, from a male perspective?
I think he's a bud. But that's...
I love that.
I think he's a bud.
You know what? When you see season 2, you're going to see him he comes in season 2.
Oh, yeah, wait till you see him from the beginning. See, I watched old episodes. Even when I was, like I said, even when I was watching The Yoko Factor, I was like, what an a-hole.
I know.
He is. There's nothing about Spike that isn't.
But he's funny. You have to give him...
He is funny. I thought it was hilarious when the guy came out and he thought he was going to be able to take him in his hands, caught on fire, and just went, Like
he's like, oh, bugger. Yeah, that was great.
I mean, and when you, but the thing is, like, Spike does so many things. When he did bad things
before the chip,
you know, and then later when he started to sort of do nicer things, redeem himself. I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my love for Spike was just all melted away, and maybe it's just good writing. Maybe I'm insane.
I think it's a combination. I think
compensate good writing and my insanity.
Well, yeah, there's that. No, I think that they've done. I think Spike is one of the better written characters on this show in general. I think more of the writers have a better grasp of him than more of the characters, than most of the characters. Because you'll have a good Willow episode, you'll have a good Xander episode. Certain people write better for Buffy or for Dawn. Right. But I think Spike is more consistent, and that's just a writer's thing. And I think that he's probably one of the more interesting as far as where you can go with him. And I'm not saying we don't love Xander or Willow or Anya, because we do. I just think when it comes down to simple, like, twists and turns and possibilities in a character,
surprises and changes, and
then you combine that with an amazing actor who, oh my God, can do things that you never thought possible, acting wise. And yes, this is a Spike Love Fest. If you don't like it, you can leave.
Because we will be in about 5 minutes.
We'll be gone in a few minutes. I just, I think it's a combination of all that, and you've got a really strong character, and I think that's the only reason he's not dead.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
really not dead yet.
So, let's do thank yous. We both.
My desk is ready.
We all liked the episode. Ethan, I think, liked it the most of all of us.
And, I loved it.
Ooh, loved it.
Ethan loved Buffy. Which was your favorite from season 1?
Oh yeah, what was your favorite episode?
If you don't know the name, just describe it. We'll know what it is.
Well, I really like Nightmare.
Ooh, that's one of my favorites.
That is one of hers.
It's incredibly confusing at times.
Wait till you see Restless, the season ender of season 4. Oh, you're gonna be screwed up.
Nightmare.
It's all dreams.
Looking forward to that.
It's all dreams.
It's cool.
But anyway, yeah. Anything else? The Pack. I like the Pack.
The Pack was pretty
cool. It's cool.
They ate Principal Flutie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I couldn't believe that. I know you guys have said that he got eaten. I just assumed by some monster.
Yeah, but not like that, huh?
A bunch of kids.
and Never Kill a Boy on the First Date was great.
And the puppet show.
Yeah, Puppet Show.
Great.
Puppet Show's good.
Prophecy Girl is like my all-time favorite episode.
Prophecy Girl's a favorite of a lot of people.
Very last episode. Yeah. Well, cool. Okay. So, yeah, we basically, in the whole season, I think, not exactly my favorite. Obviously, nothing's going to top season 2 for me ever in the history of ever. And but I don't think it was the worst either. I think they did stuff that they really needed to do this season to get these characters to another place. And whether you like it or not, I think it had to be done. And hopefully next season people will be back. And it'll be a little lighter, a little more happy, a little more... I like the idea of more standalones.
Yeah,
I really, really like that.
Me too. I'm interested in that.
Okay.
All right.
So
I get to watch lots of reruns.
I know. The reruns are cool. Definitely.
Absolutely.
And FX. We got FX.
Okay, so it's time for us to say thank you to everyone who has made this show possible in this last week.
Yes.
If you missed any of our announcements earlier, do not fret. We will send some stuff out to the mailing list and or update the website tonight.
We want to thank all of our listeners, all of you guys out there.
Sounds so simple. All of our listeners
who have been with us for either all 3 years we've been on the show, but doing the show. Excuse me. And, I mean, especially through this has been a really tumultuous year for the Succubus Club this year. Mm-hmm. You know, we made the move. We had a tragic death in the Succubus Club family. You know, we also gained good things. We came to KLBC. We have producer Ethan. But it's been crazy. We've had a crazy year. And we want to thank everyone for sticking by through, you know, servers being down and through me going, you know, having to go to, you know, open house at school. Lots of, you know, different things. I think this was the first year that we actually had someone sit in for me. Thank you, Fenric. You know?
Absolutely.
And we just want to thank everyone for all your love and support, and everyone who listened. You know, and we really want to thank you.
And thank you for telling your friends about us, because if you haven't noticed, we really don't promote the show.
Yeah, we don't.
Barely at all.
And the thing is that since we don't have the computer right here anymore, we stopped posting on the Beta Bronze, and that's sort of not really by choice necessarily. It's just sort of by like convenience. We haven't been able to.
Right. So thank you to everybody who's told a friend.
Yes.
I get so many emails saying, "Oh, my friend just told me about you," or "I just heard about you from somebody I know." And so thank you. And if you can, when we come back in the fall, just keep doing it, because that's how our family grows, and we love you for it.
And we also want to thank, we want to have a big thanks to BAPS and Tabula Rasa out there for all their support and all the times that they listen to us and send in, questions and things to help us out. We also want to have a huge, huge thanks to City of Angel.
Absolutely.
Just for, when we met them at the PvP, just such an amazing group of people who put an amazing site for Angel, and just great people who work over there. They send us stuff to give away on the show. They help us out. They're just great.
If you guys don't even watch Angel, then you still should go over.
You still should go.
cityofangel.com is the website, and it's an amazingly beautiful site, designed just stunning and so thorough. Anytime I have any question about Angel, I go there. And like Kitty said, the staff behind it it's always nice when you meet people who are worthy of your praise, and they definitely are.
Yes, absolutely. We also want to thank, and this isn't, I'm going to say this, and people are going to be like, oh, you're being mean. No, we want to thank the Kitten Board, and for all the kittens who have listened. And you know what? Even if you were angry at us or didn't like what was going on, we still want to thank you for your input and for your comments and criticism and all just listening. We want to thank you for that, absolutely.
I want to thank you for caring about this show and these characters, because without... even if our views are not the same as yours, I can never really badmouth somebody who loves the show.
Absolutely.
You obviously love the show, and or at least you did at one point, or you loved a character, and that is to be commended. And I think that is what people are in this business for, is to make people care.
Absolutely. We want to thank everyone over at the Beta Bronze.
Everybody.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't listen to us.
Even if you don't listen to us, we still want to thank you. We also want to thank everyone who goes to our chat room faithfully, even though we can't go there anymore. We used to be able to go there.
All 10 of you.
Punker Mike used to sit there, and we used to be able to do that, but we can't do it anymore. But we want to thank everyone who goes in there and hangs out and talks to each other. We want to thank everyone who has joined the mailing list. It's going strong. We keep getting new people join the mailing list all the time. Please join the mailing list so you can get updates, information. Tell your friends. We also want to thank all the VIPs who have come in this past year. We've got Jane, Stephen tonight. We have sorry, okay, the tape ended. Okay.
Go.
Okay, we have Jan Espenson, we have Steve tonight, we have Tim Manier, we have David Fury, we have Drew Greenberg. We also, that was this season.
That was just this season.
Plus all the other people who've come in over the years. People who have helped us get these people like Allison and Raina and all other, who am I forgetting? People have helped us get VIPs, people, on our show.
Those of you who don't know, the VIPs come in on their own free time, and they do this because they want to talk to you guys and they want to talk to us about what they do. And it's not very common that they get asked to do stuff like this, so they really enjoy the experience of talking to you guys and taking your questions. And they don't get paid to do it. No. They don't get anything out of it except to be able to talk to you guys. Right. So I really hope that it's something that you guys have enjoyed as much as we have.
And, they come down and they sign stuff for us, and it's great. And the thing was, this all started, in fact, when the very first PvP we went to, when we sort of ran into Jane Espenson, and we happened to give her our card. We had business cards at the time.
That was when we had business cards.
Yeah, whatever. That was our old website too. And she actually contacted us.
Yeah.
And that started the ball rolling, because other than that, we have had help getting other people in. Through word of mouth, through Jane's told people.
Through other people, yeah.
Other people like Allison, who's helped us get people on.
Mm-hmm. Terry, who helped us get to...
Yes, Terry. Oh, my God, absolutely. For Terry and Raina and all those people that have helped us. Because, we're just, like we said, we're just a little show. And every time we meet a VIP, we ask them, hey, come on our show. Doesn't mean they're going to.
We are. We're seriously. People seem to think that we have some kind of power.
We don't.
We're just two kids on the radio, and
we get lucky.
We get very lucky.
Yes, and we have a lot of people who help us.
Yes.
We also want to thank Kale. We also want to thank KLBC, Ken Borgers, and Larry White, who have helped us to come here and to make the show possible for us this year.
And who moved other people so that we could keep this time slot, just so that you guys could keep us on the same time. It was amazing of them to do that. They didn't have to.
Yes.
And we thank them.
And all the emails back and forth about, making, if there's problems, they did so much for us to get us here. Mm-hmm. And we appreciate them to no end. We also want to thank GM Mike, who's always been there to help us and to help us with the server. Since the beginning with love and support. We also want to We also want to thank all the people who've helped us with multimedia, who have put together transcripts of the show, who have made MP3s of the show, so you can hear the Stephen interview, the David Fury interview, and possibly the Jay Espenson interview. People have done that for us.
Also, people who have put together CDs that they've sent us,
yes.
specifically Heather and Jamie, who have helped us tremendously with CDs full of songs from the episodes. We may not be able to play them after next week.
I know.
But depending on what happens with the internet stuff. But I want to thank you guys very much for doing that.
Absolutely. And I also want to thank everyone who wished me happy birthday. I know that's like long ago. But Jamie, you sent me this wonderful Godiva chocolate in the mail, and I did just get it, and it's yummy. Very delicious. Thank you so much. And to everyone who cares. And, of course, last but not least, we want to thank producer Ethan. Yay, Ethan. And we always said that in the beginning, when they said you're going to have a producer, we're like, what are we going to do with him?
Or not even just that. It's like, we don't need a producer.
We're like, what do we need that for?
We're like, they're going to make us change stuff. We don't like change.
We didn't know what this entailed.
That's next year.
That's next year, I know. Now they're buttering us up.
Uh-oh.
And we'll probably be like, okay, whatever. And then, we always joke, and we seemingly joke that now that we have Ethan, what would we have done without him? And we truly, truly feel that way.
Absolutely.
And we just love having Ethan here. He just instantly became a part of us and a part of the Succubus Club family. And we're so glad that he's here.
And we're glad that everybody else has embraced him as well. He's got fan mail and everything.
Absolutely. And, of course,
wait, he wants to respond.
Oh, okay.
Well, I have a thank you also.
Okay.
For you guys.
Aww.
Oh my!
He's getting something.
He's getting up.
Oh, gifts!
Oh my God! I'm unspoiled.
Oh.
It's nothing big. It's just
a little.
I've had fun here, so I.
Oh, we're so girly. We're like, oh, cards. We're like silence. We're reading.
And half a belated happy birthday.
Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. I don't know why I'm trying to shove that back in there.
Oh, cool.
It's so sweet. Oh. Mine is a choking hazard.
I have Buffy. Who'd you get?
I have Buffy. Let me see. What's your Buffy wearing? Ooh, you got the leather pants, the red leather pants, Buffy.
Ethan got us 2 Buffy. What are they technically called?
The action figures.
Action. Oh, I have the perfect place for this too.
So cool.
Mine's wearing red leather pants, and hers is wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah, mine's got blue pants, leather jacket. She's got a crossbow, some stakes, and a knife.
What a cool little bag you made.
This is so cool.
Thank you, Ethan.
Oh, thank you, Ethan. Thank you. We're going to have big hugs in a minute. And obviously for me, I want to thank Candy for always being there and just being the greatest co-host in the world. And just, it's all been said. I don't know what else to say. Just that she's just so wonderful. She is a huge part of my family, a huge part of my life, and nothing would be the same without her.
Thank you. I don't know what to say to that except to
ditto.
Yeah, ditto. I'm sorry, I keep kicking her.
She keeps kicking me.
That's how much I love
her.
I love her because I kick her. Now, I want to thank, first of all, everybody who, as some of you know, my mother passed away about 3 months ago, and it was absolutely, and still is, the hardest time of my life. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to start crying. But
don't cry. Just look at Brent Heflin.
But thank you to everyone who sent cards, both through the real mail and through email, and your condolences. It has meant everything to me. And Kitty, who was there for me through all of it, who was there for me at the funeral when I really needed it, and has been there for me for the last 4 years, has been one of my best friends. I don't know what my life would be like without you, and I don't ever want to know. So
me neither.
I love you, and thank you so much.
I love you, too.
Okay. Aww. That was all sappy.
I know. Now I'm going to cry, too. So I guess we're over. We got to get out of here. I'm sure no one's probably heard half of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
But
that's okay. I don't care.
That's all right, because, this is the part of the show that we do want to, say. So
don't forget about Vegas, everybody. July 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, even though she won't be here for the 8th.
Right. I got to go back and work.
But obviously more information tonight when I get home. I'll update the site with Golden Fang. Ballot will be up tonight. Don't forget to vote.
Yes, and listener appreciation information.
Absolutely.
So again,
that's it.
That's it. All right.
Yay.
Well, join the mailing list so you know what's going on. We'll see you guys.
Wait, I don't have a song ready.
Oh, you don't have our closing song that we've been using for? Are you sure it's not already in there?
It is in here.
There you go.
It's ready to go.
See, you're way more organized than you think.
Yeah, right.
So we want to thank everyone for enduring and listening, and we love you all very much. And we'll see you guys next season. Remember, kids, the vampires can't come in if you don't invite them.